All right. Welcome to ABL Live. My name is Anthony Brian Logan. Thank you for joining me tonight. We got quite a few topics on deck, and I thank you for being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, live and direct. What do we have going on? At 7:37, MAX 8 and MAX 9 planes have been grounded in the USA, according to one Donald Trump. We had them in the air for a while after the plane crash in Ethiopia because the pilot said they were safe. However, it's probably the best thing to go ahead and ground them for now until we get everything squared away. Tucker Carlson says, I'm not going to apologize for some old comments on the Shot Jock show, as he should. Why should he apologize for something like that? I mean, come on. Snarky comments, you're going to just kiss the ring and kowtow to whoever wants you to do so. And when you do that, you never ever stop doing it. So he was right to not apologize. The college cheating scam. You got Aunt Becky from Full House, the lady from Desperate Housewives, some CEOs, some big wigs involved in a $25 million scheme. They're talking about RICO, federals, IRS, all that are involved. Nancy Pelosi says we're not going to impeach Trump. It's not really worth it. Why do that? There are more important things to be concerned about. I find that pretty interesting considering how much the left wants to get him impeached. That's why they keep going through all these different changes with the investigations and whatnot. We'll talk about all that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you for joining. But we got a lot of topics on deck. Please give me a like on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. It helps out tremendously. Let me get this out to a few people. And I'm glad y'all are here rocking with me on a Wednesday night. This is March 13th, 2019. A lot of stuff going on. How's everybody doing out there? Let me know where you're from. Let me know how's your day been. And we're going to get to the calls in a little bit after I get this out to a few people. Let me see. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Get it on Twitter right quick. And then let's go ahead and get it on Facebook. All right, that should be good there. Boom, perfect. Thank y'all for joining. Really appreciate you. Paul Manafort is getting railroaded just because they're trying to throw the book at him for no reason, really. Well, the reason is because they want to get Trump. But if he has not cracked yet, what makes them think it's going to crack now? But they have some things they can't get him on, so they want to get him on it. They're trying to get Trump, as kind of collateral damage. But it's not really going to make a difference, honestly. And shout out to everybody. Feral Inferno, T-Pain in the building, Omar Adams, Ian McElroy, Dresden STL, D. Dixon, Poodle Dog, Kathleen, Will Redding, JB. Let me see who we got. Durner 1804, non-con streamist, 9110 from San Antonio, non-con streamist from Philly, Kim Lala Joe from Texas. Shout out to Texas. Dark Dante, what's going on? What's going on, Barrington Christian? I see you. Crypto TJ from Wisconsin, Jared from Des Moines. Let me see. Matt McKee coming from Edwards Air Force Base. Shout out to Edwards Air Force Base. Big up to you. What's going on, SABC? I see you in the building. Ariana Rodriguez, thank you for joining. Yes, I do have new merch. I'm going to show the new merch right quick. Thank you, T-Pain. I'm going to show the new merch right quick. Hold on. I put some new shirts up. And I got a hat that should be coming pretty soon as well. It's not this hat. This is one of my people that sent me this. But I have my own hats coming out, too. I put one hat out for... I ordered one hat, but I'm not sure that it has been accepted yet because they got to embroider it. But here are some of the new stuff I have. All right, let's go ahead and make that right. There we go. So you got your Trump Pence 2020. You got the ABL, we was Burger Kings, MAGA. You have to go back. I digress. CNN sucks. MSNPC. And you see I got them in different sizes. I got, or different styles and sizes, of course. The classic regular unisex t-shirt, the women's cut shirt, and then a tank. So whatever you want, I got them. If you want a tank for the summertime, the sun's out, guns out type thing, I got that. You want regular t-shirts, I got that. Whatever you need, I pretty much have it. Trump Pence 20, you could get it in this navy blue, a black, or a lighter color blue. So it's all up to you. And that's also available in women's sizes. So those are the new shirts. And I got a hat coming out as well. Here's what you have to go back. That's available just in black. And I think it's only in the premium tee. I could make that different colors if you wanted. And also for the women's size t-shirt, yeah, that wouldn't really be a problem. I still have that. And I've designed all these logos. You know, the only thing I didn't necessarily design was just the CNN. But I put everything together. That's the official logo right there. The MSNPC, I took the MSNBC logo, or the NBC logo, and put the faces on it like the way it is in other ones. So, yeah, all these, I have the files for it, so I can change them, do whatever I need to do. But that's what I got so far on the shop. Now, as far as Boeing is concerned, the planes, how you guys feel about the planes being grounded? You think it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? Because my thing is this. The pilots, well, not the pilots, the people that are some of the higher ups, I think maybe the Boeing CEO and others are saying the planes are safe. There's no need to ground them. It's really about user error. You got pilots that have like next to no training. You're talking about, I don't know, 200 hours. One guy had 200 hours in a simulator, I suppose, or just, experience. You're talking about a student trainer. He should not have been in the actual cockpit in the air flying that plane anywhere, not with actual human beings inside. You understand what I'm saying? He should have still been in a simulator getting some training. So that could have been part of it, but there's also been complaints from other pilots in the U.S. talking about it wants to pitch down right when you take off. The training manual is not good. So, yeah. Now, it just makes sense to go ahead and ground it right now until you fix whatever's a problem. It's probably a software issue because I'm thinking it's something to do with the autopilot or just the way that the computer helps fly the plane. That's probably the problem. So just go ahead and ground them right now until you can fix what's going on. You know, say, are the groundings in the Midwest? Well, the groundings are wherever the particular planes are. You know, whatever. It's about the airlines. I think United has some. I think Southwest has some. I'm not really sure about any other airline. I know Delta does not have any of those particular planes. But in the Midwest, where you having the crazy bomb cyclone, you're going to have straight cancellations due to the inclement weather. Not necessarily the grounding of the plane. That's kind of a different thing. Let me see. Dead Privacy said it's a fault in the automatic angle if attack system is not the autopilot per se. Okay, I see. So, yeah, it's a issue with the system they need to fix, basically. And some people I saw on television were saying that it can be overcome if you understand what's going on, if you know how to fly your plane, if you have the experience. But the problem with the plane crashes in other countries is that you're dealing with developing countries. You might have a new airport, new pilots, new planes, new everything. In parts of Africa and also throughout the developing world, like Indonesia, some of these airports are brand new. They're being built by the Chinese, and you got to be able to fill these airports with actual pilots that are going to be able to fly the planes. And if you just came to a place recently with an airport, I mean, are you going to have a country full of pilots? So it's a problem. it's definitely a problem for developing countries, but it's also been a problem for U.S. pilots. But I think U.S. pilots have been able to just avoid the whole situation. But the thing is, a lot of people probably wouldn't want to be on one of those planes. In America, they would say, well, I don't want to get on that plane and crash. I think I'll pass on that. I'll just go ahead and, go to a different airline. I might, just not go on my trip at all, postpone it, cancel it until whatever. The planes are made in the USA, actually. They're made in Washington State. Yeah, they're made in Renton, Washington, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think we would allow any kind of made in China airplanes. Cell phones and stuff like that, that's one thing. But airplanes, I don't know. But there could be some overseas planes here in the United States. I wouldn't necessarily doubt it. But I think Boeing are made in Renton, Washington. Nicholas Brown says, my cousin is a pilot, international for a big name company. He said, if the airline thinks you can't pass a security check, social media, and so on by China, you'll be grounded. Wow. Wait a minute. Hold on. If the airline thinks you can't pass a security check by China, you'll be grounded. That's kind of, so we talking about here in the U.S. or just in China? That's pretty deep. Yeah, Roman mate. So I did hear about Trump wanting $8 billion for the wall. Hey, if he gets it, then that's what it is. Yeah, you're right about that, Nicholas. In China, they have that system, that point system. It's the social currency, I suppose, where if you have, like, you start at, I think, 100 points, and there are actual people. I may do a video about this, but there are actual people that walk around the town that you live in and observe you live in your daily life, and they judge you based upon your deeds that you do. So if you pick up some trash or you donate some money and stuff like that, that can help you raise your score or keep your score high. But if you cut somebody off in traffic, if you maybe spit on the ground, that can potentially decrease your score, something like that. Things, good and bad deeds you do can affect your score. It's like having a bad credit score, basically. It's even worse than that because you can't even leave. You can't even get on the plane. You have to find a different way to travel. Like the one guy was saying, he had to get on a train rather than a plane because he was not able to buy a ticket. His ID just wouldn't work at all. It was like, nah, we can't have you here, sir. Sorry. No planes for you. That's pretty much how that goes. Just like Black Mirror. That's right, Tony Williams. Exactly like Black Mirror. I wonder if they were watching that episode and said, hey, that'd be a good idea. Let's do that. Exactly what they did. But in many ways, what's going on, Will, man? 757. I see you. So you lost 10 points last Saturday night. Hey, I know how I go, man. But in that episode of Black Mirror, they outlined it pretty clear. It was very clear. And then if you have a low amount of points, you're pretty much on the bottom of society. That's kind of how that is. Can you pay for a higher score? Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, one thing you can do is donate money, and that can help you get a higher score. And when you donate money, I think you got to donate it to some kind of government place. It's like a government controlled place. It was crazy. I was watching a little documentary or whatever, and the guy who was donating the money said, I don't know where it's going. I don't know where the money is going, but I need to raise my score, so I don't even really care. They could be getting extorted by the government in that area to pay them money to raise their score so they can get back on planes and stuff like that. Oh, nah, it's dead serious. Like, it's not a game. They're going to try it over here. We already have it kind of over here, though. Like, if you get in the Uber, what do you do after the Uber ride? You rate the driver, and you say, it was a good ride, clean car, etc. So you do that already. You got websites like Angie's List, Yelp, Google ratings, all kind of stuff. So if you go to a restaurant and it's bad, like after you leave the restaurant, if you have your GPS on your maps, it'll say, hey, how was X, Y, and Z place? You can give it a rating right there. You can leave a full review, 1 star, 5 star, or whatever, and that determines whether you want to go to that place or not. If you're thinking about going to a restaurant, or matter of fact, hotels is the big one. If you're traveling and you're trying to find a hotel to book in a place and you don't know about the location that you're going to, you are a first-time traveler to that place. You don't know what's a good space or a bad space. You're going to go straight to Google and look at a list of hotels and then judge them by the stars they have. If a hotel has less than 4 stars, you probably don't want to go there. Just judging based on the reviews. if it has a whole lot of 1-star ratings, you're going to look at it awkwardly. So it's already in place for businesses and people that own businesses, but it's not in place for actual individual human beings yet in the West. But it will be at a certain point in time if we allow it to be. Trump will do 4 more years, yes, because there's nobody on the opposite side that's going to be able to actually run against him. Who's going to be his opponent? Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Yang Gang. Is that going to be the guy that runs against Trump? Come on. The incumbent almost never loses, and the opposition this time is totally weak. The opposition last time was much stronger than it is right now. Hillary Clinton was stronger than anybody that is announced. I knew she was going to lose, but she was still the strongest person of anybody that's announced. I mean, do you think that Warren Pocahontas is stronger than Hillary Clinton as a candidate? How about creepy Joe Biden? How about Kamala Harris? How about Cory Booker? Kamala Harris and Cory Booker have the identification, like they have the racial identity on their side, but that's it. They don't have anything else. And who else? Joe Biden has the fact that he was a vice president, and Warren Pocahontas has the fact that she and Hillary Clinton were kind of like besties a little bit, or they may have appeared to have been besties. Pocahontas, that's correct. What alert are you talking about, Diane Peters? I have no idea what you mean. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Check out the security alert the U.S. Embassy put out on the 8th of March, telling American personnel not to travel to the 10th of March. I've not seen that, and I can't just say something like that without having the evidence in front of me, because anybody could say anything. I need to, see a source, because if I say something that somebody says without being able to verify it, then it winds up not being true, then I'm looked at as somebody just spreading fake news. I always verify my information before I put it out. Let me see. And then what else we got? Oh, Tucker Carlson not apologizing. Good for him. They're trying to get him on some things. They're trying to say, oh, you said these bad things back in the day. We want you to apologize right now. He's like, no, I ain't apologizing for nothing. For why? I didn't do anything wrong, so why should I apologize? So he's doing the correct thing. That college cheating scam, you got Aunt Becky about to go to the penitentiary. I tell you what, this whole thing with the college cheating scam may seem like it's kind of small, but it's pretty big, because you got people that have, engaged in some pretty serious things, some fraud. You got folks taking SAT tests for you, ACT tests. You bribing people to get your son or daughter into college. I think Aunt Becky paid like $500,000. One family, I think, paid like $6.5 million to get their kid and or kids into college. $6.5 million. Now they're going to try to say, I thought it was a consulting firm, all this, that, and the third, but I think there's audio tape of the people bragging about this scheme being able to go under the radar undetected. Okay. And they're able to get away with it. So once you bring that tape out there, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big time plea bargain. Maybe it'll be some kind of big fine, but I doubt it. Somebody going to the penitentiary, ain't no question. Oxcom76 says, my question is this. If they had $500,000 to spend, why didn't they just donate a building to the effing college? Well, we're talking about building donations. That's up there. You're talking about in the M's. $500,000 is not much. I think Dr. Dre donated some money to USC. I forgot how much money it was. And I think it might have been for a building, but I don't think anybody from his family went to USC that he sent. I could be wrong, but I think it was just kind of a gesture just to do like a Hollywood type of thing. Matter of fact, hold on. Dr. Dre donation to USC. Okay, Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre gave $70 million to USC. So when you're talking about donating money to build some things, you're talking about in the M's for USC, and they donated the money to build to create a new academy at USC. Let me see. The gift will establish the USC Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy for Arts, Technology, and Business Innovation. So when we're talking about stuff like that, you're talking about in the M's. Ain't no question. $500,000, that's just a tip. That's a tip to the school. That ain't really, you know. So basically, you got some celebrities have some money. They're pretty wealthy, but not like filthy rich. They have some money, and they were trying to get their kids in for the low, considering how much monies are paid to the colleges. You understand what I'm saying? Diddy's son goes to UCLA. Okay. They're not Trump rich. They got money now because Lori Loughlin, she has a estate in Malibu, if I'm not mistaken. Very nice estate. And it's funny that they're flying an American flag next to a USC flag. So it's pretty serious at their household to have a USC flag flying on your house like it's an American flag. I'm talking about the tall flag poles, full mast, the whole squad. California critic says AOC, agent of chaos. 1,000% correct. I like it, though, because I like to see the Democratic Party disintegrate before my eyes. I love it. I want to see more of it. Not even really trying to rhyme, just being 1,000% honest. Beto O'Rourke announced. Beto O'Rourke, that's going to be funny. The memes are going to fly because this guy, I saw him in the furry outfit. If I could find it, I'll place it. It ain't nothing too weird, so don't hide your kids. It's okay. But it's Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke is a stomp down moron, stone cold moron. I mean, people might like him because he kind of reminds them of Obama, but he's a stomp down moron, straight up and down. Okay, here's the headline from CNBC. Beto O'Rourke on 2020 run. Man, I'm just born to be in it. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Let me see. Okay, now, I guess he has an email list, and somebody unsubscribed from it, and then they got a message that says, are you 100% sure you never want to hear from Beto again? Email us how we keep in touch and share important updates about how you can be part of our campaign to elect Beto for president. That doesn't mean that Beto was actually running for that one, but I did see a headline that said that he was gonna go ahead and do it. So let me see. Let me get back to where I was at. Beto is Jeb Bush. Maybe so. Now he is a furry. Beto O'Rourke. Nah, you just see him in the in his sheep costume. Like, I'm not even. Hold on. Matter of fact, here it is. Come on, Washington Times. I don't got no time for that. Ah, boo. All right. Okay. This check this out. I'm gonna do this. I was trying to show you the article, but they want to, they want to play games. Okay. Matter of fact, here we go. Now that's him right there in the center with his band. I'm like, okay, you can have a band and all that, little garage band, that's fine. But why you gotta wear the furry outfit, sir? Like, what is the significance of the furry outfit? Why do you have on a sheep's costume? For what? I mean, is that part of your band's gimmick? Are you a furry band? What's really going on? See, do you want to vote? This got to be your president? I mean, when I'm thinking about people that can actually make stuff happen and win, I don't think about this guy right here. That's not really my pick. I know you got a lot of energy and did the Howard Dean scream, yeah, all that good stuff during his failed bid to become the Texas senator, beating out Ted Cruz. But this ain't it right here. Sorry, not sorry. So the memes are going to fly with Beto. I say go ahead and do it, boss. I got plenty of material for you. I will not be able to run out. So I say go ahead and go for it. I would love to see it happen. Let me see. Hey, that Howard Dean scream was something else. This man, because y'all know I was streaming that night during the midterms, and then I saw this guy on stage. It's like, what are you doing, sir? You up here screaming and hollering for what? Cussing. I was like, man, we got kids watching. What are you thinking about, man? This ain't really the place to do that. Do that somewhere else. I'm not even really trying to hear all this screaming and hollering and fussing and cussing. I'm just not really with it. All right. I did see Tim Pool and Joe Rogan talk about Twitter. You know, I like Tim Pool. I think he asks good questions during that particular interview on Joe Rogan's podcast with, what was that, the CEO of Twitter, Jack, and then the lady that was there with him. I'm not really sure where she was from in Twitter, but she was a Twitter employee. It was cool to see him ask these tough questions, but where I was kind of getting frustrated was the lack of actual responses. You did what I'm saying? Because they did respond, but it was like everything was so choreographed and telegraphed, it became fake. When they got stomped, they would just try to like go back into the memory bank to figure out how to respond to it rather than just answering them in real time. That's not a real conversation. When you're talking to somebody, you wouldn't be able to talk to them directly and back and forth. Not all this, got to pause and wait and think about it and like write it down in your mind and trying to parse out your words. It's like, I'm just not really trying to hear it. Oh, she's a lawyer? Oh, that makes perfect sense. There you go. Okay. There you have it. Thank y'all for, let me know what's going on. Of course, there's going to be a lawyer there. That's what she does for a living, is answer questions properly in the way that would make her client and herself look the best. Yeah, that's what that is. So, yeah, I didn't like that whole lawyery type of interview. Give me a realistic interview, something that, people can actually, where you can actually talking to somebody and having a real conversation. Oh, the chat comments are off the chain. 1,000% off the chain. And shout out to the super chatters already. Thank you all for doing what you do. I really appreciate y'all. We'll get to the calls a little bit in a moment. Thank you to Truth Seeker for the donation. Definitely appreciate you, boss. And thank you to Tune In Drop Out, who says, with the Democrats using talk of reparations to energize the black community, this election cycle, should Trump come up with something to counter? It was African Americans' lack of enthusiasm for Hillary that actually pushed Trump over the top. Well, I'm not really sure what Trump could do to counter, because you know what? I'll rephrase it. I don't think there's anything Trump should do to counter, because what the Democrats are talking about is not going to come to fruition anyway. They're talking about it, but they're not going to do anything. Think about it like this. You had 8 years of Obama, right? The guy that said Black Lives Matter is doing a great job in America, right? There was no reparations in that 8-year period of time. None, zero, zilch, nada. So if you have a random person coming out the blue that's not even black talking about reparations and like Andrew Yang, but he's talking about UBI. Just random people talking about it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna actually fulfill their promise. It's gonna be a failed promise, if that makes any sense. So I think Trump should just stick to his guns and not try to cater or do anything like that. If anything, what he should do is talk about economic opportunities, talk about education, talk about employment, talk about real things that you can actually do right now today, not just lofty goals and aspirations for the future that are not going to come like the Democrats are doing. Because when the Democrats talk about, when they say reparations and it don't come, especially when you're talking about local, if you're talking about local and you're talking about reparations, they're talking about other things that they're promising, and it does not come to fruition, that's going to cause resentment. So I don't think Trump should do that. But thank you for the donation. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to Shuck of Peace for the donation, who says, good channel, love your stuff. Here's some shekels. Well, thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Yeah. So it's all good. We'll get to the calls in a minute here. Prison reform. Yeah, that's a big one right there. Prison reform. A huge one. I mean, freeing folks from the penitentiary. Barack Obama had the chance to free Allison Reed Johnson and didn't do it. So Trump's cleaning up the mess that he made and also just righting some of the wrongs of the past. People talk about the drug war and how it affected so many black and brown people. Okay, well, here's Trump is just trying to free folks that were negatively affected by that. So that's a big thing. Prison reform, economics, education. These are very important things he should just kind of anchor himself on, rather than trying to give out false promises. It ain't going to come. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. Legalize weed. He may do legalized weed. I'm not really a fan of legalized weed, but I think that he may do that, and I think it would help him. I think it definitely would help, but I'm not, because me, I'm a guy. I don't like drugs. Period. I think you should regulate all drugs. I think no drugs should really be legal. You know, I think alcohol should be banned actually, but that's a different story. I don't want to go down that road. I think alcohol and or certain drugs should be banned on the state level if that's what they desire, or even on the county level, which they are right now anyway. In certain counties, you cannot buy alcohol at certain times of the day or at all, depending on, you know, the situation. So that's pretty much where I would leave it. Have it be a states' rights type of thing. Straight Taliban. I mean, because, you know, I'm just not somebody that likes drugs. Dry counties, that's right, Ski Man. Yeah, because I seen too much alcoholism, drug addiction. I seen too much, man. I just don't like it. You had a dry town until 10 years ago. There you go. One clean state. Yeah, you can have a clean state. I mean, if you want to go to Vegas and get you a prostitute or some liquor, some cocaine, then go for it. You know, but I don't think that should be nationwide, because you got religious areas, you got a lot of different peoples with different cultures that they should be able to protect with the laws of their particular state and or county. That should be how that goes. If you want to have no holds barred or whatever, you can have that in your particular place. If you don't, you should be able to have that as well. And as a human being, you can be able to move wherever you want to go, whether you want to be in the more conservative place or the more liberal place. It's all up to you. It's all about where you want to go and how you want to live your life. That should be how it is, to me personally. You know, I know, you know, people talk about weed and CBD. Hey, I'm not here to judge anybody. I just know I have my own opinion. That's it. I'm not here to judge. I'm not a lawyer. I've not passed the bar, so I'm not here to judge anybody. If you're trying to cop in New York, hey man, hey, the FBI, that's not me saying that. I don't know who that is. I didn't do nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm seeing CBD everywhere. I'm seeing that on the streets. I'm seeing these big flag signs on the side of the road that say CBD. That's like a big marketing thing at this point. And I think some of it is probably a scam because they don't have CBD in their actual products. They're kind of like selling snake oil. But some of it is actually legitimate. I know guys that do that and it's legit. But some guys, I mean, how can you really tell if it has CBD or not? As far as I know, it's kind of an unregulated industry. So you could just say it has CBD in it and it doesn't. And who's going to really check behind that? So shout out to all the legitimate people that have CBD in their products and they're running a square business rather than these scams popping up everywhere talking about I got CBD, you know? And if CBD does not get you high, then the question is, how do you know that it has CBD in it? Like, what would be the effect if it did? Because if there's no euphoria or anything attached to it, how do you know that you actually have it? You see? But I'm gonna get to the cause here. It's not unregulated? I thought it was unregulated. Is it a state thing or is it a federal thing? Let me see. Oscom76 says CBD has been proven with many cases of epilepsy or other brain disorders to help them multifold. Hey, good. That's great. I'm glad it helps them. Let me see. Trump should run 2020 on dropping the hammer on sanctuary. Thank you for your donation. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. SP. How about that? Because I don't want to butcher your name. Sanctuary cities. Yeah, I think that should be a thing. I saw this case where it was a guy that stalked his woman and killed her. In, what was it, California, I think. It might have been LA. It was crazy. So thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. But yeah, the whole thing is crazy. Yeah, definitely these sanctuary cities. I think the main thing you could do with sanctuary cities is remove the funding. If they're getting any kind of federal funding, remove that right away. And then you'd be able to just chop them at the knees. Very simply and easily put. All right, let me get to, hold on, because I know that this is probably not working right. Give me 1 second here. There was somebody on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Joshua.
All right, Joshua, what's happening?
Not much after lately.
All right.
I want to talk about I just said earlier, Beto O'Rourke winning in 2020.
All right, go for it.
This guy does not stand a chance against Trump because he's a open borders guy. And guess what? There's a crisis on the border, on the southern border. People are going across the border. People going crashing through the border and selling drugs, doing coyote stuff to children. And he also lost in the midterm elections last year, in 2018 midterm elections. And he is also a cock. Furry. He's a cock. Like,
now, I don't think anybody from the left has a chance in the 2020 election because simple fact that Trump, number one, is the incumbent, and number two, ain't nobody strong over there. Nobody really has really powerful name recognition or the ability to unseat Trump or the popularity that Trump has, because Trump is much bigger than Trump, if that makes any sense. Donald Trump is like the whole the aura around Trump, the movement around Trump is bigger than Donald Trump himself.
Right, absolutely, yeah. And I also heard that some of his supporters are moving into the Yang game because they're being pissed off that thinking that Trump abandoned his base, that the wall is not being built yet. He didn't do none of the tech censorship, and
yeah, that ain't really real though, because I saw that video with James also. That ain't really real. You got some people that might want to believe.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I saw that.
I saw that video too.
Yeah, that's not really real because that's his opinion, and some people may share his opinion. And right now, the Yang Gang is kind of popular online, but that's it. And it's not even really that popular. It's just kind of it's a trending meme, but it'll go away soon enough. You know, Andrew Yang, he appears to be kind of a nice guy, but his ideas are not really well thought out, in my opinion. So he has no chance either of even really gaining any kind of traction.
Yeah, it's just a meme. That's all. That he's gonna die out eventually. But my best bet that the Democrat nominee is gonna be Kamala Harris in 2020.
Yeah,
Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
that's the safest option. Is Kamala Harris.
Yeah, because she's
a
woman.
Black woman.
She's a black woman. It's two birds with one stone. You got the first female, and you have the second black person. Well, she's not even really black, but that's a different story. She appears. Yeah. She identifies as black, and that's good enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't stand a chance either. To me, I think she's stronger than Hillary Clinton, but that's not saying much because Hillary Clinton is a complete and total con artist, as she is, using a southern accent in Alabama. And she also used different accents for years as well. So, yeah, like, she doesn't stand a chance. Like, and also, I think that Trump will win 356 electoral college votes.
It's gonna be a race that it won't really be a race. It'd be kind of a dusting, like how somebody just get left behind, like way behind. It's like somebody still at the starting block where Trump is at the finish line. That's pretty much gonna be how it is because nobody really has enough to actually compete with Trump.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing I want to talk about today is that something happened. I had an incident with my mother yesterday when I was going out and to a workplace, and I was going to bring my MAGA hat, and she didn't want me to wear the MAGA hat because she saw social media posts that people are getting attacked because of the MAGA hat, and she really didn't want me to wear it outside at all, period. And I told her, no, I understand it, but you don't have to get so angry at me because because of this hat. Like, she's a never Trumper, always voted Democrat the rest of her life. So she got very angry at me, and she got the broom because I was keep telling her, no, I want to wear the hat outside. So,
hey man, don't even worry about it. You know, once you get to be, you know, on your own, once you get to be kind of out from under that, you do whatever you want to do. You know, people, you know, your mom just kind of like, you know, afraid because of what you see on social media, and that's part of the problem. People just perpetuating lies and also just trying to attack people for wearing their hat. And they're scaring regular people. That's probably part of the reason why they grounded these planes, because people were scared about the planes. They didn't want the planes to be in the air. People be scared about, you know, where they're going, having a lot of anxiety. So that's why people are trying to just, you know, say don't do this and don't do that because of their own fear, not because of your fear. But thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you too.
All right, now. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Thank you to Joshua for the call. As always, definitely appreciate him. And check out the young lady from Desperate Housewives talking to the football coach, I suppose. Are you asking for a bribe? You're pretending you're above that? Like, this is an actual scene from the actual. Like, I saw this today on Entertainment Tonight. They showed the scene. And they had a scene with Aunt Becky doing a similar thing on Full House with who was it wasn't Joey. Who was her husband in the show? I forgot. It's been a long time ago. I'll get the checkbook. Like, art imitates life. It's crazy. But let's go ahead and get to my next call here. All right, caller, who do we have?
Well, ABL, it's been a while, but I'm here, your favorite superstar athlete, Sue Bird.
Superstar athlete. That's kind of a overstatement, don't you think?
Well, I think you should be a little more polite, seeing as I didn't get to call in for International Women's Day, but I wanted to call in to my favorite radio host for International Women's Day and represent for my wife, Megan. I'll show you the screen. She's actually suing so that us women can get equal pay with the U.S. soccer. So why don't you show your support, Anthony, and stop being a misogynist?
I think I'm good. You know, I like to watch sports that are actually exciting. I'm not really into, you know, seeing a bunch of ladies running around the court, you know, acting up. I mean, wait a minute. Okay, I see your screen. Gender discrimination suit. What kind of gender discrimination are we talking about here? I'm not really quite understanding, because as far as I know, I mean, if you are playing soccer as a young lady, you get paid appropriately according to what you bring in, correct?
We're just trying to be equal, Anthony. I don't know why you got to hate.
Equal how? I mean, I'm not really sure, because, hey, if you bring in a certain amount of money, you can get paid a certain amount of money. If you're out there getting like 25% of the seats filled while the men are getting all the seats filled, why would you get paid the equal amount as a man?
All right. I mean, but if you know, everybody watches Scooby-Doo, but you know, my dog is running around outside. I mean, who's to say Scooby-Doo's a better dog than mine?
Okay. I'm not really sure how that makes any sense, but that's fine.
Exactly. Point me. So here we go, Anthony. Here we go. You're such a bitter person, but you can't defeat logic, can you? Can you? It's very simple. The way that you men behave, you're obviously being outperformed by us everywhere, including on the athletic field, and you might as well accept it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, when I think about, you know, fantastic sports plays, basketball and soccer and football, I don't think about the WNBA. You know, I think about the NBA. I'm thinking LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis, you know, some of the big dogs, James Harden. I don't know anybody in the WNBA's name at all.
Except for Sue Bird, right?
Are you still playing basketball right now?
Yeah, I'm playing. You know, I'm playing. NBA 2K15. You know, my nephew's been, you know, he's been on vacation to Denmark, so I've kind of been like edging into his room and using his stuff. Yeah, I really hope that I would get an extra cuddle from Megan, seeing as I told her that I'd get you to support her. But obviously, as a man, you don't feel that you can compete with a woman, seeing as you are the inferior sex, right? We're just beating you everywhere in
Hey,
track and what?
hey, if you want to believe that, that's fine.
Yeah, and you know, obviously we're doing so well that even some of you men are trying to become us. So as you can see, we are actually going to be inaugurating a new generation of young ladies as WNBA superstars, and let me unveil some of them for you.
Uh-oh.
We have we have ma'ams,
Oh boy, here we go.
we have retarded people here,
Oh no.
and we also have hippos. So
Oh man.
you know, you better cheer up some courage over there, because you obviously you can't appreciate success, Anthony, seeing as you're such a conservative hater and you support Mr. Orange Meanie Weenie over there.
Hey, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'll tell you this here. When the men come into the WNBA, they're going to dominate. And then how you feel about that? You got all these men coming in pretending to be women. They're going to dominate the actual women. Isn't that unfair? Or do you think that the men will be able to come in and you guys will be able to compete on an even playing field with them?
Oh, we just got the hippo to guard them. I mean, it's right in front of you, Anthony.
even so, if you got a big woman, I can go on the court right now out of shape and still dominate everybody on the court that's playing.
Anthony, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that us women have had for a while, okay? Once that happens, all we'll have to do is to get a professor from Northern California to come and allege that NBA player, let's say Kevin Garnett, groped them back in 1981 at a party in Maryland.
But what happens when the person decides to identify as a woman and they say, "Well, I'm a woman now, so my past is washed away"? Would that work? Is that still going to be what it is, or you can't do that? Uh-oh. Hit you with one of the questions. You can't really, what are you going to do about that one?
Well, I did say we were good at chess. Anyway, Anthony, it was great celebrating International Women's Day with you, even though you are a horrible misogynist and you've been oppressing women and holding them down since since you were over there in Rand University, which obviously is not integrated since I don't see any great women athletes coming out of Rand University. So I'm going to leave you alone to continue to sustain the patriarchy.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a great night.
All right, now. All right. I'm triggered about that Rand University comment because you all know Rand University, that's Randy Moss. And also Jason Williams, White Chocolate. He was not from Rand, but he went to DuPont, which is like right there in Rand. He was from DuPont City, which is like down the street in Kanawha County, Charleston, like in that same little area. Go up the road a little bit, and DuPont City is like right there, and Rand's down the street. That's where I was born, Rand University. Randy Moss, his mother went to school with my parents. My mom went to high school with Randy Moss's mother, and so did my uncles and everybody else. I actually met his parents. I met his mother one time when he was playing for the Vikings. I was in Rand in the summertime going to church, and she had this big purple Escalade right outside the church. We're talking about a small town, 1,000 people. The church was like this big, it's like a single wide trailer in the church, and it had steps going up to it, like cinder block steps. Right outside of that, you had this big purple Escalade. It was a crazy sight, but I remember that. So shout out to Charleston, G. Carjala. You already know what it is. White Chocolate, yes, from DuPont City, West Virginia. Let me get to my next call here. 406, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Eddie Jones.
All right, Eddie, what's happening?
Not much, brother. I was actually just wanting to participate in your broadcast and speak with you. very, very much like-minded people.
All right. Well, I'm glad you called. So, is there anything on your mind that you want to discuss today? You want to talk about Tucker Carlson or anybody?
No, and that's the thing. Honestly, it was more along the lines of the aspect of you can even pick what's on your mind, and we discuss it. Very, very, very much like-minded people in the aspect of getting the word out there.
Okay, well, I mean, I have a few topics that are in the headline. It's kind of hard for me to come up with the topics to talk about on the show because I talk to so many different people. So, I mean, we could talk about Tucker Carlson if you want to talk about that. Have you seen that story?
Which story with Tucker Carlson? There's always you know how it is. It's like every 30 minutes there's a new one.
Well, the most recent one where he had. Well, they wanted him to apologize because of some old comments. Did you see that?
Oh, yes, I think I did because of some of his old comments.
Yes. Now, how do you feel about that?
Oh, good Lord. I honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's becoming crazy in the aspect of people having to do this because of things in the past, particularly the sideways aspect of what people are doing in order to try to bury certain people or whatever stuff because of comments and taking them out of context or whatever stuff and trying to bury people. I think that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 1,000%. I mean, especially in the case of Tucker Carlson, because you're talking about things that were said like 13 years ago on a shock jock show where it's meant to be, satire. It's not meant to be offensive at all. People are just trying to dig up anything. Man, they're digging up old movies and saying that they're offensive now. I saw something today where they were trying to say that the movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, True Lies, like that was now offensive and it was sexist. It's like, come on.
Right. Exactly. Well, and the way things are going now, they're probably going to try to bury you for certain things that you say on the air.
Well,
plain and simple.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, just out of actual just speaking off the cuff, speaking your mind, and communicating with people, taking 10 seconds out of an entire lifetime and trying to bury a person for it is ridiculous. Because every one of us make mistakes. Plain and simple, top to bottom, inside and out, we all do. We say things that we might not even mean sometimes under anger, so to speak. And yeah, it's becoming ridiculous. I mean, the whole entire aspect of it is ridiculous. And that is exactly why I enjoy what it is that you do in the aspect of trying to get people to understand, hey, come on. We're all just trying to get along. We all have the same end goal. How do we get there? We have to communicate.
That's right. That's the way to do it. I'm with you on that. So, caller, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yep. I thought you hung up. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. So, I thank you for the call. I'm gonna get to a few more. I definitely appreciate you for calling. Keep coming on in.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Honestly, I would like to. I actually have several friends from. I hate to occupy your time. I have friends from Netherlands, Scotland, whatever stuff like that, in the aspect that are all trying to achieve the same goal, the same thing that you are, same kind of brotherhood or whatever stuff like that. And I would love to be able to communicate with you and being able to put these people in communication with you in the aspect of actually spreading the true message, the same message that you were exactly trying to spread. And I think it'd be a wonderful thing. So I don't know if there's a way you can keep my information, to where I can contact you in an easier fashion, be able to speak with you, and being able to actually set up a couple of things.
Well, the best way for me is always through email. I can't really talk that much on the phone. I'm just really busy. So the best way is email.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. I am very much.
So
busy
my
as
email's on my
well.
website. You can go to it. The link for that is in the box right below this video. Go there, and then we can see what we could do from there.
All right, and I'll just give you. Yeah, I'll just leave a little something in there in the aspect of who I am and speaking with you, and that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to put a few things together for people like you and I, so to speak, that are trying to get the true message out. And so I appreciate it. I appreciate what you do. Thank you very much for answering the phone.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Love you, brother. I love what you're doing.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the call. I most certainly appreciate him. And I see the 570 number. I'll get to you in just a moment. I saw you in the chat saying that you were calling in. I'll try to get to you. But before I get to that, I got super chats here. Shout out to the person who left a 10 and a 5. You deleted your comments. I'm not really sure what happened there. But thank you for your donations regardless. And thank you to Nicholas Bowling, who said, anyway, I could get maybe a guest host sometime. Well, we'll see about that. Hey, I don't know if that was you that just called in, but go ahead and just send me an email. That's the best way to get in contact with me. And Nicholas Bowling also says, I run an independent site. Want to live stream soon? Well, hey, send me what you got, man. I love to see it. I'm really interested in whatever you guys got going on. And I just got my hat listing. Okay, so here's the hat that I was working on right here. It took me a while to approve it, but here it is. It just came in the mail. Well, I got an email for it just now as I was on the stream. So here we go. Matter of fact, that ain't it. Hold on. Let's go. There we go. Boom. So this is a 1776 hat. Let me see if they'll let me. There we go. So that's a 1776 hat right here. This is a snapback. And will they show the other side? Hold on. Okay. So that's the back right there. All right. And you see how it is here. 1776, the Betsy Ross with the black and white black hat. And then I have it also in a trucker style. And you see the back vented out like that. And you can get it in red as well. So I'll probably get the red. I don't know. I might get the red one. I might get the red one and the black one just to show how you guys how it looks. And these are $23.99. I think $23.99. Both of them $23.99. The snapback's $25.99. The trucker is $23.99. So either one you want to get, if you want it, is right there on the site. I'll probably get the red and the black for the trucker myself. Yeah. So those are on my website right now. It's on my Teespring page. So if you go there in the description box, you can get this hat whenever you want. But let me get to my next call. Stringer, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, my friend?
Everything's
Long time no speak.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. How's everything going?
Oh, you know, man, I've been busy, dude. I've been busy. So, this whole Tucker situation, my friend. I don't think it should have ever been brought up. Who brought it up? Can you enlighten me on that?
What? Media Matters. They were the one that did the original hit piece.
That's right. I mean, how are you going to go back 10 years to something someone said and think that that's, an okay thing to do to people? I mean, it's just outrageous. But I'm glad Tucker says, you know what? No, I'm not playing this game, and I'm glad Fox News is sticking up for him and saying, yeah, no, he can do whatever he wants. If he doesn't want to say he's sorry, we're not sorry either.
Absolutely. I'm glad they're behind him, because a lot of networks, they probably throw you under the bus and say, no, we disavowed Tucker Carlson. We don't condone his comments, but we're like, nah, we stand behind him. We have his back 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, everyone was expecting that another Rosie O'Donnell happening. Not Rosie O'Donnell. You know what I'm talking about. Roseanne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I get those two mixed up. everyone was expecting another Roseanne, but I mean, they should have known that that wasn't going to happen because Fox News isn't like, was it ABC or NBC? They weren't having her. They weren't having her show.
Right? Nah, not at all.
But Tucker's show is like through the roof. So they're not about to kick him to the curb over some 10-year-old crap. They're not about it.
Not at all.
So I haven't really heard much about these planes. I know that Trump like grounded all the planes or something, all these special planes, right? But your thing says there's only 8 that are grounded right now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the exact number of those that are grounded right now. I can't really tell you that information. I just know that there's a ban on all of them that are in the U.S. Now, there could have been some that were in flight that were grounded once they landed. And then there could have been others that were already, that were just at the airport that weren't being flown at this moment. So the 8 could be referring to the ones that were in flight that landed and then grounded.
Right.
Not counting the other ones that were already, on the tarmac just hanging out.
So apparently it's a pretty new plane. It's like a rendition of, I watched a couple of videos and I heard Rush Limbaugh talking about it earlier today, but apparently it's like a new rendition of like another plane that they have. What is it? The 737?
Yes.
It's basically a 737 with bigger engines. And what happened is they, Boeing was selling that plane and saying, oh yeah, it's okay to just have this plane. The pilots aren't going to need any other training as long as they know how to fly a 737. You're good.
Right.
But
right.
The fact is, it's not really the case because it's not really the same plane. It's actually kind of different, and the aerodynamics of the plane are very different. So, but I mean, how do you feel about Trump saying put him on the ground?
I mean, I'm fine with it because the thing about it is the planes may be safe, but the problem is that people aren't going to feel safe until this whole thing gets resolved. So you're going to cause a lot of hysteria, and then the media, they're going to be all over it. They're going to say Trump doesn't want to put the planes on the ground. You're endangering lives. Then it's going to become a political point, and they're going to run with it, talking about Trump. He's being arrogant. He's not listening to the people that are around him, his advisors that are telling him to, put the planes on the ground. And then also, the thing about it is that Canada has grounded these planes. So when you ground a plane in the country, no planes can come into the country or out of the country. So you can't fly from the U.S. to Canada or vice versa on those planes. So that's going to cause problems right there. If America has not grounded these planes, but Canada has, you're still going to have some of them grounded because they can't go to certain countries that they would normally go to. You can't go UK or Canada. So you might as well ground them right now until you figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I thought it was very peculiar because, Rush Limbaugh just thought it was kind of ridiculous that he grounded all of them when it wasn't really. I guess it's not really that big of an issue. I was listening to another person talk about it on YouTube, and he was saying that basically they've all gotten ahead of it, and all the pilots are very aware of the situation. They all know how to cope with it at this point. But so I guess that's maybe where Rush was coming from. But it kind of shocked me for him to be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. He doesn't need to ground all the planes. This is being dumb." And I was just like, well, I mean, better safe than sorry. Am I right? You know?
I mean, my thing is everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but nobody's a pilot. I mean, at the end of the day, it was best move that he could have made. Especially since other countries are doing the same, and there is a problem with the plane. Something's wrong with them. People have complained. It's much deeper than just you had a couple plane crashes in developing countries, so you're going to ground the planes. You had pilots in the U.S. that were saying that the planes, it was a problem with them. Like after takeoff, the planes were one that kind of just tilt forward from the nose. So that was always something that was known about months ago.
Yeah. So the star Aunt Becky from Full House.
Yeah.
She in the big house now.
Going to the big house, from the Full House to the big house.
Man, I saw that best meme. It's her in a jumpsuit in like jail, and it's like it says like big house in the same font as Full House, and it's like Netflix, And then there was like another one that came out. Man, the meme's a bit crazy about this, but like it's one of the Olsen twins, like when she was younger, and they got 2 guns. It's like when you got to break out Aunt Becky from jail.
Yeah, I saw that was hilarious. That was fantastic.
The memes, man, the memes. But I mean, listen, these people had it coming to them, man, and I'm so happy these indictments became unsealed because it's like, yeah, I mean, how are all these rich people gonna just scam their way to get their children into good colleges for nothing, when everybody else has to work their ass off. Pardon my French, but has to work their butt off. So I mean, I'm glad to see that happen. And I hope, I hope they all go down. I hope they throw the book at them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially since you had teachers in Georgia that went to jail for cheating on tests. It was this whole big scandal where they were cheating on, I think it might have been SOL or SAT, one of these standardized tests. They were in this whole big cheating thing where they were changing answers, and they all went to jail. I think they got light prison sentences, but they did go to jail. So if they're going to go to jail, then surely people that paid to get their SAT scores changed on their kids' tests, that paid to get their kids into school, talking about they're on a road team, never rode a boat in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
They're going to jail.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might have been a little overkill to go to the crib with guns drawn, but hey, they did Roger Stone
they?
like that, so at least they're being consistent.
They did do Roger Stone like that.
They sure did.
I don't. What's with that? Why do the FBI got to bring guns everywhere they go?
I don't know. I mean, it's like, okay, you coming to arrest Lori Loughlin. You think that she's going to be at the crib with a Uzi getting ready to spray? I mean, come on, like, be for real.
Kicking down doors and stuff like that,
right.
When you could just call her up and be like, "Hey, listen, we got to talk about some stuff."
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, oh my goodness. So Nancy, I want to hear your thoughts on Nancy saying, we're not going to do this impeachment stuff.
Hey, I think they don't have anything, so they had to do what they had to do. They knew that the Mueller report was going to yield nothing. It was going to be a big fat nothing burger. So the next best thing was to go in and say, okay, we don't have anything. Let's just go ahead and, it ain't really worth it. That means we can't impeach him, so we're not going to keep going down that road. That's what that means.
Yeah, well, I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe Nancy's got some skeletons in her closet that she doesn't want revealed. So she's like, kind of living in a glass house right now. And she's like, I'm not feeling like casting any stones right now. So I think that's really what it's about. There's no sense. I mean, look, all the Democrats right now are going after Trump. Let's investigate this. Let's investigate this. Let's indict his kids, this, that, and the other thing. All this is going on right now. And Nancy's going to be the bigger person in this picture. I think there's something a little more to it. I think that maybe she's got something in her closet that she doesn't want, revealed. So she's kind of saying, we're gonna pass on this because the freshman Democrats aren't having it at all.
Oh no, they're not for it at all. They totally they want blood basically. They want to see Trump burn, but the thing is, they're not going to be able to do it. So I like to see the division in the Democratic Party. That just works out well for me.
It does. I 100% agree with you, man. They are ripping themselves apart. It's crazy. It's crazy to watch. Yep. It really is, man. Because I think there's going to be a new party that's going to come about in 2020. Let me ask you something real quick before I let you go, man.
All right.
What are you thinking about this Yang thing, man? What about the Yang gang?
It's popular right now on the internet, and that's it. It won't really go too far beyond it because, number one, people talk about, let's have a different party, a new party. I mean, that's okay, but there's a lot of parties right now in the U.S. that exist. It ain't just Democrats and Republicans. There's plenty of parties that exist. But Absolutely. The thing is, once you get into that swamp, once you go up to D.C., either you're going to be on the left or you're going to be on the right. You pick one. So people have to understand that this guy's going to be on the left or the right. It ain't going to be no in the middle. Even a guy like Rand Paul, who is like a libertarian kind of guy, is still going to basically be a Republican. That's just kind of how it goes. Same thing with his father, and the same thing with Bernie Sanders. He's going to be a Democrat, although right. He is in reality independent. So, I mean, it really has no legs. He'll end up being a Democrat at the end of the day. And as a Democrat, he won't be able to get anywhere because people are not going to let him in with his ideas. So it's a non-starter, a nothing burger. It's cool right now to talk about online, but it's not a real thing.
Well, Have you heard he's out there paying people to make memes? Like he's out there on 8chan and 4chan, and he's paying like master memers to like make memes of it. That's why there's so many Yang memes right now. Is because he's out there paying memers because he's in the tech industry. And he knows all these people, you know. So he's just paying people to make memes all day long.
That's even worse because now it's not organic, and the best movements are started on an organic grassroots level. When you try to pay people to make memes, I mean, you may be able to get some followers like that and make money from online clicks, but if you're going to translate that into a real movement and real people behind it, that's not going to work out well for you. See, the whole thing about Trump was it was organic. People just liked Trump, and then he was just out there talking, just doing whatever he was doing, and we, the internet, were just, feeding off of it. We weren't getting fed by him directly like, hey, here's $100, make a meme. It wasn't like that, and that's why he was able to be successful.
Yeah. You see my shirt?
Yeah, I see that.
Russian bot.
Yeah, I like that. Is that from Mark Dice?
No. It's Truth Factory.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Truth Cat. She made a bunch of these shirts. I got them. I bought the bumper stickers too. I've been slapping them all on all my work vehicles. But yeah, man. Hey, man, it's good talking to you, man. It's been a while, and I apologize. I haven't been in touch, but I had to do what I had to do. I had to get things done in my personal life before I could get back into things. But hey, sir, always a pleasure, my friend.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you to my man Shinger for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys on the drill, the number to call is 434-658-1220. I didn't even see the cat. He had a cat? I had no idea. No idea whatsoever. Let me get to my next call here. 301, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, JB. What's happening?
Man, Tucker Carlson's my new hero. I mean, because it's ridiculous. And the thing he said was not really an offense. He just basically was joking around. He basically said that most women, they don't like soft guys. They can smell like a dog. It wasn't offensive. That's a good thing. Who wants to marry a weak man?
Right. I mean, he said just true things. People just are offended by the reality of the world nowadays. I mean, if you tell somebody that's a man that they are a man, they get offended if they don't identify as a man. It's like, look, don't get mad at me. Get mad at your biology. You were born with these chromosomes. You are a male. Sorry.
Exactly. And that's my biggest pet peeve now. Everybody's so PC. You can't say this. You can't say this. And the thing, and the world's becoming so hate toxic towards men nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like men, we are literally the people hate nowadays. And for what? For being a man. That's sickening.
That's right.
And I'm so glad he's not apologizing. I'm so glad. 'Cause you know what he's doing? He's sticking it to he's throwing mud on everybody's faces. Like, look, I'm not going to apologize for what I said because who cares? Who cares?
Right.
And I'm more and more I notice it is like, and you know, there's a lot that they're trying to make African American men so sensitive and desensitized, and they're trying to glorify us wearing dresses and everything. You notice that since the Grammys, they're more and more pushing this whole homosexual narrative amongst black men. Have you noticed that on TV shows, or it's just me?
I mean, that's been around for a while. Yeah, I noticed that. Absolutely.
Like every show, we either solved or we're the goofy guy who's making any sense. And every male character doesn't have any common sense. Have you noticed that nowadays?
Yeah, that's been going on for a while too.
Exactly, man. It's just rather sickening that we as men are always the butt of all the jokes, and women are always empowered, and they're the strong people, they're the ones who save the household. That's not the case. Who gets out and works 90 to 80 hours a week? Most men. Am I right?
That's right.
And who builds infrastructures? Men do. Have you noticed that we're being downplayed and everything? But that's all I called about. And yeah, that's all I called about, man. I had to call it, man. Phenomenal show. Last two calls was pretty on point. And it seems the calls getting more and more important, more and more better as time goes on. Have you noticed that since you started about 2 years ago? Have you noticed that during your live streams? I got a lot of great calls, a lot of great callers, and I appreciate everybody because they bring a lot to the show. I'm just here just to be the MC and give my 2 cents. Yeah, and I'm noticing the trend with the African Americans. We are opening our eyes. bad, and it's like it's scaring everyone. It's really scaring everyone, and it's like I've lost so many friends because I say highly racist. All says highly racist, and everybody loses their cool about it. And then the moment I see that is you're never really my friend if I don't see what you think, you get mad at me.
Right.
You're never my friend. So that's where I'm at right now. And ABL, great show. So far, it's getting more and more better and better and better. Chat room's even better too. The comments. And are you getting your game tomorrow? You get the early release. You get the gold edition for the Division 2. You get the gold edition. You got the regular version.
Regular version. I didn't get to go because some people playing it early. They're playing it already. They're playing it on the 12th. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna get the regular version.
I'm not spending that much money on no game. I'm sorry, it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's not.
Just play it 3 days early. Now, if I could play it a month in advance, okay.
Yeah, but 3 days for $40, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, nah, damn it, nah, it ain't that much. Well, all right, ABL, have a good rest of the show and room. Thank you for taking my call. Thank you, Mr. ABL and room. Everybody stay cool. Peace.
All right, thank you to JB for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And somebody was saying that they wanted to call in. I think it was a 570 number. Go ahead and call 570. You know, the phone lines are hot. It's hard to get in sometimes. It's like calling C-SPAN. If you ever watch C-SPAN and you try to call in after an event, it's rough to get on in the call. And the best way to do it is to call at the end of somebody else's call. So I'll wait for you a little bit. Go ahead and call in. Sheltered Lives. I think you 570. Go ahead. I'll give you like 30 seconds. And then we'll see if you can call in. And shout out to, I got all my super chatters. I think I got all super chatters. Thank you to everybody that's been in the show so far. We got 233 live in the chat. I appreciate you all for being here. Who's somebody being censored? You're still holding. What is your area code, Sheltered Lives? Are you 570? Because I do not see you on the queue at all. And you can also call in through Skype. Skype is a good way. I have a Skype email in the description box. I'm still waiting on Sheltered Lives. I don't see 570 on my queue at all. It's not there. So I don't know. I gotta keep it moving though. You know, you gotta keep on doing what you gotta do. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. If it's ringing with a dial tone, that means you're on the queue. If it's beeping, then it's just not. You know, you got to just hang up and call again. But I gotta keep on moving. 470, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Oh, man.
Hey, Anthony. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I didn't make it up there to Chattanooga today, Anthony. Me and my man, we was supposed to get us a cabin in the mountains.
What happened? Why you didn't get the cabin in the mountains?
He was trying to get me to go on some plane, and I told him I can't get on no plane because you know I'm on the no-fly list. We could have drove, but I didn't feel like driving, Anthony.
Why you on a no-fly list? What did you do?
I don't know, Anthony. But I like your hat that you got on.
I appreciate
it. It's red. I'm glad. Making Atlanta gay again.
No. That's not. It's make America. It's make America great again.
Whatever, Anthony. You just don't want to get with the swirl, Anthony. Whatever.
Okay.
The rainbow coming to get you, Anthony.
No.
But anywho, Anthony, I know you want to have a little attitude. Did you see Jesse yesterday, Anthony?
What? Going to court? About to go to jail? I saw him.
He ain't going to jail, Anthony.
Why
walked in there so proud because he gay people. We don't go to jail, Anthony.
I can't tell. He about to go to. He was in jail before. He about to go back.
Whatever, Anthony. He ain't went in no jail. He ain't spent not one day in no jail, Anthony. He got out on the same day. Get it right, boo.
Well, he has different charges. He has the charge in Chicago, but then he has a federal charge he's facing too. So he might go to the penitentiary for that one there.
He ain't going no prison. The only place he gonna go is to the White House when he's singing at the inauguration for Hillary Clinton or maybe Joe Biden.
Hillary Clinton ain't running, and Joe Biden, he ain't gonna be able to win. You like that dude, creepy Joe Biden, touching on little girls and stuff? Him and R. Kelly could be roommates.
Well, he could come touch on me too, Anthony.
Nah, you don't want that.
But anywho.
Nah.
Whatever, Anthony. You trying to make me feel bad, but I love my Democrats just like Beto.
Oh, you like Beto? You know he's running, right?
He looked like a vanilla Obama, Anthony.
Yeah.
I could just take a little Hershey's and just put it on him, and he just lick him up and down.
Hey, come on, family show. You can't be saying stuff like that now. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anthony. I don't be meaning to disrespect so show.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Anywho, I just move. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it clean. I try my best to anyway. But you know something, Anthony, I wanted to let you know. It's your little orange man in the White House. He going down because they done got his boy. He gonna be doing some years.
Who going to jail?
That Manafort man.
Oh, Paul Manafort. I mean, it's okay. He'll be all right. He might get a pardon.
That's what he said on the news.
He might get a
pardon. He ain't gonna get no pardon. He gonna go to jail and get some bump and grind. That's what he gonna get, Anthony.
Look now. He's not. He'll be okay. He probably get a pardon because they're just trying to mess with him at this point. They throwing stuff at him. It don't make no sense. They giving him all these years for no real reason. He'll be okay. He'll get out soon.
Well, he ain't finna get out no time. He gonna be in there forever. Cause when I get up in there with him, I'ma show him. Something. Mm-hmm.
Nah. Let's not do that.
Whatever, Anthony. But Anthony, I'm finna go because I got something to do. I got to head down to the club in Midtown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I just wanted to see. Oh, when you gonna have your shows with your special host, Anthony?
Soon. We gonna do that soon.
Soon. You gonna have my favorite person on there, Anthony?
I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, Anthony. Don't say his name.
I do not know who you're referring to, sir.
Say his name, Anthony.
No thanks.
Say his name, Anthony.
I'm good. I'll pass.
It's Amazing Lucas. Oh, Anthony, I just hear his name. I don't know what to do, Anthony, but anywho, Anthony, I'm finna go because I think that other man with that nice bald head is on TV too, so I'm gonna go look at him too, Anthony.
Okay, you have a great night.
Okay, Anthony, I'll see you Saturday, Anthony.
All right.
With your MAGA hat on, make it Atlanta gay again. Bye, Anthony.
All right now. Oh man, I got the best callers. Y'all look crazy. That I don't know. I've not been able to figure out who that caller is. It's a troll, obviously, for anybody that's watching new, but I have no idea who that is. They know me, but I don't know them. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to my next call. 571, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Well, good evening, Anthony. This is Richard from Honduras. How are you today?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. When you said 570, that was that little Miss Genders. Hers is 470.
Yeah, it's 470.
He or she, I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking maybe she was trying to call she or he. One of your people in your chat last time named her Little Miss Gender. So, I thought that was a pretty good name.
Yeah, that fits.
Anyway,
that fits.
Okay. The main topic that I called to ask you tonight, I actually called to ask you a question. statehood. When a territory wants to become a state, who initiates that? Is it the state, or is it the USA, or is the federal government? I'm not really sure.
When a territory wants to, so when you say territory, do you mean a territory owned by the U.S. already?
Oh yes, like Puerto Rico or Guam or whatever those other ones are.
It'll be the territory itself.
So it'd be the territory itself. Who they apply for statehood, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wonder if that could be reversed. If we could revoke statehood, that'd be a great way for us to get rid of California.
Hey, that would be nice if we could do that, but I think it would be more of a secession. You could kind of put them in the corner to where they have to succeed when you kind of like impose sanctions, because you kind of could do that to particular states. We've already kind of seen that where Trump took away some of the money that they were going to get for the rail. Yeah. When you do stuff like that, you kind of starve them out, and then they're forced to secede. What we could do is have them secede, and then once they do that, we can reclaim them as a territory. Because if they secede, they're not going to have the military might that we have in D.C. You can come in, take them back as we can have them as a territory. We can get all the benefits, but none of the actual drawbacks of having them as a territory. All we got to do really is just provide like some defense and also like disaster relief. Aside from that, we won't be burdened with all their crazy policies and everything else.
Yeah, okay. Well,
put a wall on it and all that.
When I was a kid, 11, 12 years old, I remember when Alaska and Hawaii got statehood. And I think Alaska was 59 and Hawaii was 60, something like that. I don't remember. I was just 10 or 12 years old, so I never knew anything about how that occurs. But I thought if we could reverse that by just revoking their statehood, we'd get rid of California, that California, I should say. Anyway. All right, well, thanks for answering my question. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, you stay safe and keep on trucking.
All righty, will do.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, I think it's Richard from Honduras up there in Northern Virginia. And if you don't know why we call it Honduras, is because Herndon, Virginia, has so many people from Honduras who just merge Honduras and Herndon together. You have Honduras. You get it? So thank you for Richard. Thank you, Richard, for calling. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to everybody in the building. We got 268 live in the chat. I thank you all for joining. Give me a like on the video, please. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out tremendously. 702, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing?
All righty, everything is good. Who am I speaking to?
This is Rob in Vegas.
All right, Rob, what's going on?
Not much. Hey, I called in last week. I was one that had that one about the Europeans from Mexico coming up.
Yeah, that was a great call.
I got a couple things I was thinking about. Hey, the Green New Deal. Okay, I was thinking the world's going to end in 12 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if only the U.S. does all this stuff she's talking about, what happens with China and India?
That's my question exactly, because, okay, we're talking about the U.S. They're trying to control the climate from the United States. The United States is a small drop in the bucket when it comes to carbon emission. Really, we're pretty good when it comes to carbon emission because we have so much technology that prevents a lot of that stuff from happening and a lot of regulation. But the problem is India and China, number one, don't really have that kind of regulation. And number two, they have so many people.
Right. Well, I've heard that the U.S. and the EU put out less emissions than China.
Yeah.
So both of us combined put out less than them. So I guess that Green New Deal has to have a little side note about, well, we got to start a couple wars because we got to go wipe out China and India.
That's
because
right.
They ain't gonna do it on their own because they ain't gonna kill their economies for us.
No, they're not.
So-
They're not going to do that.
Yep. Hey, I was also you had an earlier caller and you were talking about movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, "Baby It's Cold Outside," how they're trying to get rid of that song?
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie that's from?
No, I haven't.
You know who the guy is chasing the white woman around?
No, who is that?
Ricardo Montalban
Oh, okay.
from Fantasy Island. So, I mean, this is integration way back in the day. But the second half of the song, they never mention that part, do they?
No, they don't.
That's where the woman is chasing red buttons around the set. So it isn't the guy chasing the girl, it's the girl chasing the guy.
Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, hey, well, what's going on here? You only mentioned the first half. What's going on with the second half?
That's a good point. A lot of selective remembering, selective recollection to just push a narrative. That's all it's about. They're trying to say that now. True Lies is sexist. It's like, come on, like.
I mean, that was like what was it? Tia Carrera. She was actually in charge of the terrorists.
That's right. She
Right?
was the boss.
Right. I'm like, hold on. She's in a position of power.
Right.
So, but I'll let you get on to some other calls. I just wanted to point out that little war thing and "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, love your show.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah, that's a good point about China and India because let's put it in perspective here. The U.S. has about 325 million people, maybe about 350 total in the United States and territories combined, about 325 million or more, depending upon how many illegals are here. But China and India combined have about 2.5 billion with a B, 2.5 billion people. That is 1/3 of all humanity in two countries. Okay, they produce everything and they're in very tight spaces. There's a lot of poverty there. So, I mean, when you're talking about carbon emission, when you're talking about pollution, I mean, you got to look towards China and India, not the United States. The United States has very good carbon emission. We have very good standards on our actual pollution and stuff like that. China and India, go to Beijing, Shanghai, somewhere like that. You're smoking a pack of Newports every 3 hours by being outside, not even smoking, just by breathing the air. Like, you can't even breathe outside. Like, it's always overcast. I think Mark Zuckerberg went to China and he was taking pictures. They had to kind of like Photoshop it to get rid of the overcast, the smog in the sky. I mean, the Green New Deal for who? It's a scam. It's not even about green. Well, it's about green, all right. It's about that money, that green money, them greenbacks. It's not about green energy at all. It's not about trying to be climate friendly or anything like that. It's all a big scam. That's why I'm a climate skeptic, because the people that push it are just trying to get cash. They're not talking about China and India. That's where everything is happening. We have one Earth. It don't matter where you are on planet Earth. You're still on Earth. We have the one sky that we all share. So if you're putting up pollution, carbon, all that into the atmosphere, it's going to be the same atmosphere that circles the entire planet. So what are we talking about if we're not talking about China and India? I mean, come on. "469, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?"
This is Kevin Duggan. I called before. I don't think I had a very good call before. You might not like me, but I have a better call this time, I promise.
Okay.
I wanted to ask him about Venezuela.
Alrighty.
And when I've been trying to discuss with Venezuela with people, I've been having this problem where I'm coming off sounding like a neocon. And I really just want to be able to hear what he has to say about it and how I should articulate what's going on in Venezuela a little bit better.
Okay, so I mean, are you asking me about it?
Well, I mean, I have a little bit to say about it, but yeah, I wanted to ask you how, if somebody asks you, how do you present it when somebody asks you about it? I mean, do you come across that same problem? Because I mean, we had Noriega times, right? And all that Black Ops just destroyed the United States. We got to be accountable. We can't be sneaking around down there like we did before. It just corrupted us too much. You know what I mean? South America. And all the more Black Ops operations that we do down there, the more trouble seems to get us into, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what the solution is to that situation. As far as like a general question, if somebody was asking me about Venezuela, I would just say socialism right there. That's the actual result of socialism. What to do about it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
but go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, just make sure this. The only one thing that I have really to throw in there is I watch USA Uncensored and China Uncensored.
Yeah, I watch them too.
He has a fair amount of information on, China and that sort of stuff, and he stated that China invested $56 billion in Venezuela, and he's also stated that they were making deals for the social credit system for that country, which would, put a stop to all protests, basically. Do you know about the social credit system?
Yeah.
All right. So, and I was able to cross-reference some of the stuff that he said. So I did see maps of Huawei and where the hard data lines were going in a totally different publication. So they're trying to get some hard data lines going straight from China through the Atlantic there. I don't think in the Caribbean part. I think straight down to the Atlantic. And they're trying to put their 5G in there. And I really do believe we should be, I mean, that's the weapon of the future. I really do believe we should be down there ripping up those damn cables and stopping that, really. I mean, to launder money, information, all that sort of stuff. I mean, you have the hard data line, no satellite interception.
But why should we be involved with that?
Well, I think China looks at South America like a little bit too endearing. I mean, it's kind of scary. Like if you check to see how much they got invested in each and every little country around there, they got a little bit of money in just about every country down there. And they're colonizing Africa. They just ate the last white rhino, for Christ's sake. I mean, China ate the last white rhino. There is no more, right? So, I mean, I wouldn't really feel too comfortable about having them too much in our backyard like that. I mean, it is kind of our backyard. And now that the UN is complaining that China has invested in so many ports across Europe, from India to Ireland, that by having that many ports, they're influencing the UN. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what China does all over the world. And they're actually closer
Right.
than you think. China's here. China's in the U.S. China's here.
Right.
China, they own Smithfield Foods in Virginia, and where they produce the ham and stuff. They own that. So China's here. Like, I mean, so it's kind of hard to really avoid that. It doesn't make any sense to try to go down there to Venezuela when they're already right here in the United States. I think the main thing is just to become a power as a country again, rather than trying to go to other places and try to fight China and try to stop them from doing stuff there. And then as far as what China is doing in Venezuela and other countries investing money, they're just, trying to take them over and use them for whatever you want to use them for. That's all. It ain't nothing but new colonialism. Been done before. It'll happen again. It'll keep happening. All we can do is just be strong as a country ourselves and defend our best interests. That's it. But as far as going to other places and trying to interfere with what China is doing, doesn't really make any sense.
Right. I am a conservative, right? But I have these feelings like if we could actually get more South America to graduate high school and reach that level that the Cubans have in somewhat, in some areas. And Brazil started putting in white collar prisons, and that seems to be working pretty well. You know, it keeps the the cartel away from just the everyday criminal. I think that's a real good idea. I mean, these are the things South America really needs. They need some people graduating high school. They need some white collar prisons, and just some more basic medical.
Well, my question would be this: what is the quality of education in South America? You can finish high school, but I mean, what's the purpose if the education quality is not good? And then beyond that, that's kind of on them. Whatever they want to do with themselves, that's their decision to make.
Right. Well, I mean, I was kind of impressed with was it The Guardian? The Guardian jumped some young Cubans, and the Guardian almost started yelling at him for not being a Democrat and everything like that. But I really felt like, they're a little younger. They had a little bit more area to think with, about how things should be. And the Guardian was really pissed that they found a bunch of Cubans that were kind of middle of the road, Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really thinking that, if we could get a larger amount just to have a little bit more education, that couldn't hurt, could it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the solution is. Maybe that could help, but I guess it's more about the quality of education down there and also the opportunities economically. Because like you go to some of these third world countries in Africa, you got kids graduating from college with no jobs at all, with no opportunity. So it's more about them developing on their own. I don't think it's really our responsibility to try and develop them. They should just be developing on their own. Now, if they want to ask us for help, maybe we can help if we want to, but really we shouldn't be trying to go down there like on a missionary type style and say, hey, you need this, you need that,
Okay.
So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, but I mean, so basically you're just saying do absolutely nothing. We shouldn't be in there at all. Or?
I mean, we shouldn't be there. Like if you're talking about maybe some humanitarian aid, if they need food, we can just drive by with a plane and drop it out of the sky. Here's some food, take that so you don't starve to death. But beyond that, nah. Because if we do that for Venezuela, what about every other country? You got 190 countries in the world. I mean, you're going to just go to every country that we think needs help and just be like the world.
Yeah, well,
because South America, you got a lot of countries. You got Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia.
I know.
And then the islands right there. You got Trinidad and all the Caribbean, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Dominica. So, I mean,
it doesn't make you just a little bit more nervous having other countries poking around there, though.
I mean we have China and the U.S. They're here.
Yeah,
they're here, like right here. I'm like Smithfield Foods. They produce food that you eat. Chinese people own that. They're here already. So
yeah.
I'm not worried about other countries when they're here.
Yeah. Well, I know that the Uyghurs, the Uyghurs are they're like Muslim Chinese. They're basically a cult. And the guy from China Uncensored, they're in California. They're in California.
Right. I got you.
They're copying Scientology, and they're in there pretty good force too.
I'm with you, but thank you for the call, man. Right. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
All right,
bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I mean, the thing about China, they're already here in the United States. Like they own a lot of stuff here, and not only are they here in the U.S. physically, they also own a lot of our debt. We're dependent upon China. We don't make any cell phones. Do you know that there are no cell phones made in the United States? None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Not the iPhone or the cheapest flip phone. All cell phones are made overseas. Not one cell phone is made in the USA. If you can find a cell phone made here, I challenge you to find it. Even the old school Kyocera, Motorola. Do that sound like American names to you? Samsung, it's all Asian stuff. So I mean, we go to Walmart, 70% of the items are for China. Everywhere, go to the Apple store, I guarantee you that you can't find anything American made in there. The clothes we wear, everything is made in Asia. The chair I'm sitting on, all this. I think my desk is American made, and I paid a lot of money for it. That's why it is American made. It's monitors, the webcam, everything. So when you thinking about China and trying to fight back against them, to try and go to a different country and fight them there, it's not. You got to think much deeper than that. You got to think about getting back what you actually do. You know, the rare earth minerals. That's Nicholas Brown. You right on it. Rare earth minerals. A lot of those are pretty much dominated by China. They're dominated by China, and they mine them everywhere, all over the world, Africa, all that. You know, that's the they're everywhere. Yeah, the birth tourism, that's also big right here as well. That's super big. The Chinese own Africa right now. Yeah, I saw this documentary where the Chinese were in Detroit and they were examining all the abandoned buildings and structures. What they were doing was buying all the scrap from these buildings and then taking them to China and building their country up with them. So, I mean, China's going to be the new boss. They got so many people. They build everything. They got the intellectual ability to do everything that we do. They steal stuff. Try to come up with a unique invention here in the U.S. and see how quickly China steals it. I was seeing that I heard somewhere somebody talking about Google. Google's going to come up with a censored version of their platform in China. And then people were saying, why would they do that? Why would they kowtow to the Chinese? Well, the Chinese would just steal Google and build it there. So it's like you might as well just sell it to them and control it rather than having them steal it and then do whatever they want with it. So, I mean, what you going to do? Yeah, the movies are tailored to the Chinese now because that's where a lot of the box office money comes from. Not only are they tailored to Chinese people as far as watching it, they're also made a lot of times in China. Not only are the equipment made in China, you also have the movies themselves made in China a lot of times. A lot of times you got an Asian character. It's not the protagonist, but they have a strong cameo role. It's like people are placed in the movie as product placements. Like you may see, like in the most recent movie they put out from what was that? Marvel, Captain Marvel. They had a blockbuster cameo in the movie for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But the same way they had a blockbuster cameo is how they would have a Chinese person in the movie. Just sprinkle it in there because they're catering to the Chinese base. It's simple. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not even really, I think that we got, much bigger fish to fry. My glasses, probably so. I don't even know. I can't even really call it. Invading Red Dawn, I'm not really sure about that one. The new Red Dawn is supposed to be in China. They forced Hollywood change to North Korea. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they got so much money. I mean, if 1/3 of your box office receipts is going to come from one country and they said, no, we don't like that, change it. What are you going to do? Because all they're going to do is just ban it and you won't get that money. So you can miss out on $100 million or not. What you want to do? Yeah, and the slow movements, they'll build bases out there in South China Sea. Like, it's much deeper than, what's going on at the, in one country. Oh, the folding phones are crazy, Sushi. Yeah, the folding phones. Basically what it is just two phones put together, but the way they did it, where it's seamless like that, where you can just open it and then you have like a tablet and it's seamless. There's no break in between. It's not like having two phones where you put them together and it's like that. It ain't like that. It's just like it's like a full tablet that folds out and it creates a phone. ZTE Chinese made phone. I think so. Yeah. I mean, if it ain't Chinese, it's Japanese or Korean probably. Probably Chinese. Yeah, people are dropping the new folding phone costs $1,500. I mean, base model $1,500. We ain't talking about plans. We ain't talking about insurance. We ain't talking about taxes. The taxes on that off the chain. I live in Tennessee. The taxes is like 10% sales tax. So imagine if you buy a phone for $1,500, what the tax is going to be. You talking about what, $150 for tax by itself? So from the beginning, you paying $1,650 for that. Then you paying insurance. It's just too much. I would not pay that much for a phone. Even if I had the money like that, I would not pay that much for a phone. You know, and the thing about it is, you know, this phone right here, this is a Huawei. It's a Chinese phone. I'm not even going to lie. But the thing is, what phone is not Chinese? I can get an iPhone and pay $1,000, but that's also a Chinese phone. The company is American, but it's made in China, just like this. So what's the difference? Same thing with Samsung. I think it's like South Korean. So it don't even really matter. Might as well just go straight to the source. Get a Chinese phone that's from China rather than a Chinese phone that's with an American brand name on it. You know? James Daniel says my car was $500. Exactly. You paying $500 for your car, and they're talking about $1,500 for a phone. Unreal. Yeah, Huawei. Hey, it's good. This is like $200, and it does everything I need to do. I can get my Instagram going. I can get my Twitter, Facebook, everything I need to work and move around. It's all right here. I can stream on it, and the streaming is pretty good. You know, I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a phone or more. It don't make no sense. Yeah, I'm going to try to get the best deal possible regardless of what the situation is. That's just kind of how I am. I like getting deals. I'm not really trying to spend too much. I apply that to everyday life. But let me get to this call right here. 434, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, dude?
Everything's great. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to John.
All righty, boss. What's happening?
Yeah, not much. I'm just wondering what your show's about, kind of thing.
Well,
but I agree with you about the phone thing. The phones are really expensive these days. Like in England, it's around a new phone would cost around just over £1,000. So it's about 1,000 to that's maybe about $1,200. Around $1,200 plus.
For what phone?
For example, like the new Samsung, for example, it's about more than £1,000. So it'd be about $1,200, something like that.
Gotcha.
Samsung S10 or something like that. So anytime a new phone comes out, it's about £800 to £1,000 every time that they release a new phone that someone may or may not want. And then it's like you're paying about $1,000+. So it's kind of ridiculous considering you can get a cheap phone. I mean, I have a Samsung S7. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I can do pretty much everything I need to do with it. I mean, call and, Instagram, Facebook, the usual stuff. I mean, it's pretty, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's got everything I need to do anyway. It's the same stuff. Like, they're releasing the same, they're adding new features, yes, but you're paying stupid amounts of money for new features.
Yeah, it's not really worth the amount of money you pay.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you're paying stupid money for something that could do the same. It's got the same damn software, and maybe a better chip, maybe better RAM. But at the end of it, still for a few new features. I mean, that's literally what Apple does. Apple makes a new phone and they make the camera slightly better, and then these idiots that will buy Apple products because they're stupid. That's no offense if you're an Apple guy, by the way.
No, I don't do Apple products at all. I had Apple for a while. I had a computer, I had an iMac, and I had a MacBook Pro back when I was doing my graphic design more than what I'm doing now. But as time progressed, they just they stopped being what I wanted to use. They stopped being the industry standard for me. And I think a lot of that started to happen when Steve Jobs died. I think when Steve Jobs died, Apple died too. So from there, I've just pretty much drifted away from that company.
Well, the only reason why I had an iPhone, and this is true to be honest, is because I used to do troll videos, and a lot of it was auto-tuning. Believe it or not, I had the best auto-tune app that certain YouTubers would use, and it got disclosed to me, and even to this day, I've still not told anyone what that app is, because it's not available in the App Store anymore. But I used to use it to troll people. I used to say to people, like, I used to auto-tune and say, like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, and I had the piano as a small child, and and this is why my voice is like this, and people are like, what? I was like, yeah, I had a small piano. But, I used to just mess with people, just like auto-tune, like, stuff that they would say, and just sing it back to them in the auto-tune. And it was just like, how the hell are you doing that? I'm like, what do you mean? No, it's just like, messing with them just because it's funny. And some of the reactions you would get is like, either turn that crap off, or how the hell are you doing that? Or they'd find it really hilarious and start laughing, just uncontrollable laughter, which they just because it was awkward from, or they just, I don't know, it's really strange, but it's still funny though, nonetheless. I saw they didn't capture some of them moments, but it's still pretty good. But no, it's I get what you mean with iOS. I mean, it's just gone downhill. I mean, you can't jailbreak as easy as you used to be able to. I mean, it used to be easy to jailbreak an iPhone. Like, it used to just be like, simple, plug your PC in, jailbreak it, there you go. You can get apps for free. You can do stuff that you're not supposed to be able to do. Customize your phone to the point of, like, where it's more suitable for you, the way that you want your phone and the way you want your apps to run. And, you kind of know what I mean, don't you?
Yes.
Like, you could change stuff. So, like, you could customize the way that you want your phone. But now Apple has decided that, whoa, we don't like doing that. What? This is ours. We're not allowed you to do that. And truthfully, I rang up Apple support and I actually rang them and I said, Steve Jobs would be really disappointed by you guys not allowing us to jailbreak our phones and customizing our phones. Because technically, when we buy a phone, it should be our property.
It should be. That's right.
Yeah, we pay stupid amounts of money for a phone. It should be our property. We should be allowed to do what we want to do with our phones. Say if I want to root my phone and have stupid permissions to do stuff like root my phone and change permissions in an app just to, to win stuff. I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
I'm with you 100%.
But the thing is with Apple as well is now, which certain companies are now doing is, but it's changing now in America, but they're doing it so that the only place if something goes wrong with your Apple product is that you have to go to an Apple store, which is the only people that will provide you the parts for whatever.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like a walled garden. You can't really do things on your own. You can't fix it on your own. But I gotta get to my next call here. So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, because that's what they do. And the funny thing is, it's Samsung that provides them all the parts.
Right, exactly.
So you go directly to Samsung and just go, yeah, look, there's something wrong with my phone.
Right.
It'd be easy, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Well, thank you for the call.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
By the way, have you noticed something about the caller ID?
You said what now?
Have you noticed something about the caller ID?
What about
look
it?
At your number.
Oh,
I'm going to look at your number on YouTube.
That is my number. That's interesting. How you do that?
You know what, mate? It's a website that I use to mess with scammers, and I basically call them with different call IDs. It's basically we call scam baiting, and we call them up when we harass them and stuff and waste of time. But the last couple of I've basically been going on YouTube and basically just messing with other YouTubers basically. So you're not the only person that I've messed with today. The guy before yours was an even funnier reaction. He was like, "Wait, what? His consoles are on call ID? What? That's some Mission Impossible shit."
I didn't even notice it because that's not really my that's not really my number. But I didn't notice it because that's not really my number. So that's a cool trick though. I might need to do that myself, man. Get some of these hackers.
Yeah. No, what you want to do is join. My name on YouTube is TF1. If you want to subscribe to me, and if you want to message me on YouTube, I will send you a link to my Discord, and I'll basically get you in the calls where we ring scammers up, and we just irate them, we waste their time, and the reason why we do it is because if we waste the scammers' time, us wasting their time means that they have less time to scam innocent people.
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why we do it.
I'm with you, man. I mean, cut you off, but I got a lot of calls on the line, so thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right now. Shout out to the caller. That's interesting. Had my number or the Skype number. That's not my number. So thank you for the call. All right, Victor, what's going on? Victor, you can hear me, boss?
Hey. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, good. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah. So, by the way, you remember the show where I called in? I talked about how the people protested on the do-rags.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went back and I saw people typing in wave check and stuff. And one person said that I have 120 waves, which is ridiculous. So I just got to prove myself. If you can see the swirl in the back of my head, yes, I have real waves. Okay. So anyway, I'm still waiting for the Mueller report.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I mean, if we wait long enough, we might just be able to cross the 100-year-old mark.
Yeah, man. And I don't know why people are still anticipating the report. I knew back in November when he first, even before November, when he first came out, said that, well, the report is going to come out before the election. And I knew from then, like, man, he's lying. And look at it now. And now we're hearing that, oh, well, the report is going to come out soon. I'm like, okay. TikTok. So, also about the college scam thing, I think it just shows that you should not put so much stock into big name colleges. On your video, you talked about how these the smaller colleges are not strenuous. Not as strenuous as the big colleges, or something like that. And correct me if I said it wrong.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So I see it differently. I think that the small colleges and the big colleges, the works are the same. Mm. I think the difference is that because those small colleges, those professors are able to work with the students more than the professors at the big colleges, that the college students are able to grow and get rid of some of the weaknesses that they're coming in for college. So because I tell students that it's going to be a big jump between high school and college, and if you're depending on where you're coming from and how your grades were in high school, it's probably best that you go to a smaller college so those professors could work with you, and you'll be able to compete, be as competitive as a person coming from a big college.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it does. And I think probably what you're probably getting at is that these big colleges, they're there for the name value. So you can put that on your resume. You say, I went to USC, I went to Georgetown. It looks very good when you're trying to get into the corporate world and also maybe in the Hollywood and stuff like that, you just look better from a visual standpoint, not necessarily from a real standpoint of actually having, a better education.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. I mean, you're just basically going there for a name. That's it.
Right.
In fact, tell a story about me, because I went to a historically black college, Prairie View A&M University, and in high school, a black girl told me that I wouldn't get a job after I graduated, and now I'm in D.C. working at George Washington University. So, I think it just shows that if you just do your work and take advantages of what those small colleges will bring to you, because just with my school alone, that they're working with businesses and as well as other grad school programs to help the students to get in. Like for instance, at the medical school in Texas, University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston, Texas, they have a program with Prairie View as well as Texas Southern University, where if you get into the program and if you do well, if you get good grades and make good MCAT scores, you could skip the whole interview process and you're automatically in. And I know a lot of my peers that came through college with me, most of them are family medicine doctors now. And also at my school, very good engineering programs where they bring in engineering companies to do like a work day or something like that. So where you go in and you could give them your resume and you apply for those internships for those days. So those small colleges do have a lot to offer to students. My boy, Charlemagne the Rapist. Oh, I'm sorry about that. He was on Fox News. Do you see that interview?
I did see that. Yeah, that was something there. That was interesting.
Yeah, man. So I gotta say a few things. His hoodie that says Jesus was an African.
Mm-hmm.
Did he notice that?
I did notice that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, come on. Let's get it correct. He was born in Bethlehem, which is in Palestine. They call him Jesus the Nazarene. That's also in the area of Palestine. So he's a Palestinian Jew, not an African.
That's not Africa, not at all.
Yeah. Now, depending on what his skin complexion is, who knows? But we know that he's not European and he's not African. Okay.
Right.
And then the last thing he said, which was about Donald Trump, which he said that, well, Donald Trump is not going to come on the show because, no, actually, before I even mentioned that, how the whole Breakfast Club said that the interview wouldn't go well. And their reason is because he says a lot of hurtful things. So basically what you're saying is that you're not going to put your emotions to the side and try to have a conductive interview. That's what you're saying.
That's right, because already they're kind of upset and mad at him. They're saying he says hurtful things about this and about that. It's like, all right, well, look, you got to put that to the side. You're talking about an interview here. You've had people on there that have done some crazy things. People that have shot people, been in jail, all that. That's hurtful to their victims. But you're able to have a conversation with them and it's all good. So talk to this man about some things you disagree with and have that kind of conversation. I think they were just trying to, put on for their fans, people in the audience that don't like Donald Trump.
Right, exactly. And then what Charlemagne said about he doesn't do anything for the for black people. Since I came from an HBCU, he gave a lot of money to HBCUs. And you're saying that he's not doing anything for black people?
That's right. He sure did. And I see him all the time with the HBCU sweaters and stuff on. It's like, okay, so if representing the HBCUs, then how about giving Trump some credit for giving them some money, keeping them afloat? I mean, we can't do that. They had like 100 people from HBCUs, a lot of the administrators in the White House. So we ain't going to talk about that. They probably talk about Kellyanne Conway being on the couch, but they ain't gonna talk about the actual people that were in there, the HBCU guys. That's okay.
Well, they're coons anyway.
Right? Yeah. They're coons because they were in the White House with Donald Trump. That's right. They don't count.
You know, and what's so funny is that they complain about that. Oh, he doesn't want to help black people, and he doesn't want to talk to black people and tries to listen to us, and that he advised them, like for instance Kanye West, because I heard this a lot when Kanye West went there. He invited Kanye West. Kanye West talked about things, and talked about issues, and when he did that, they said that, oh well, Kanye West is just a bootlicker, and he wasn't even listening, and he's not going to implement anything. Well, guess what? Kanye West, one of the things that Kanye West talked about is the prison reform.
That's right.
And look what he did. The First Step Act. Talking about the black communities need to bring jobs. He did that too. So how is he not helping black people?
I can't call it. I mean, he's definitely showing improvement by what he's actually saying and what he's doing. Trump's showing improving. People actually coming home from jail. Trump put it out there like, hey, if you have anybody wanting to come home, send me a list. I've not seen them talk about that on the Breakfast Club to say, let's put some names on us and send it to Donald Trump. They ain't talking about that. So I guess they're cool with what's going on right now. They're cool in being able to say that Trump is a racist, all this, that, and the third, rather than just reaching out to the guy and saying, hey, get X, Y, and Z person out of jail for me. How about that? They don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And what's up with these Democrat candidates now talking about reparations?
Oh, that's popular right now. That's the wave right now. You got this whole thing about ABL West floating around online. Reparations is really popular, so they want to use that to try and get a leg up because you got the clown car filling up real fast. Like 30 people that have announced or are going to announce very soon. So
30, wow.
It's a whole lot of people. So you got to have something to separate you from the crowd. So the whole thing is reparations is a thing that you can just talk about, and then they'll get asked about it a lot. Since everybody's talking about it, they're going to be asked about it. Breakfast Club, #1 place. Reparations, how you feel about it? Well, you got to have a good answer. So now they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy is that you probably I expected to hear about the reparations talk when it comes with Obama, since they want to consider it as Barack Obama as the first black president, but yet though you didn't hear anything about reparations.
Nothing.
They didn't even bring up reparations with Barack Obama, but you consider it as Barack Obama as the greatest president. But yet though you are pressing these candidates right now for reparations.
It makes zero sense. It's like, sir, you should have asked the man that was in the White House, the first quote unquote black president, for reparations. He's right there. Ask him for that. You know, he's bringing entertainers to the White House to have parties and stuff like that. Yeah. Nobody said anything about reparations. They were all just trying to have the party, have fun. That's what it was about. Now all of a sudden he got Trump in office. Now you want to try to be all pro-black, blackity black. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how things change, but it's weird.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And also, and by the way, I don't even consider Barack Obama as the first black president because I think that's disrespectful to half of his gene.
Yeah.
Because he's both black and white.
Yeah.
So we call that mulatto.
Yes.
And then on top of that, his black side didn't even raise him.
Right. He was raised by his mom and his stepdad in Indonesia, and his stepdad was an Asian man, and then his grandparents in Hawaii who were both white.
Wow.
When he came to Hawaii, he was seen as a foreigner from Indonesia, not as an American.
Man. Wow. So also, last thing I want to talk about is the Kamala Harris Breakfast Club thing. So you remember when she said that she smoked weed?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, guess who talked against her?
Who was that?
Her father.
Oh yeah, I did see that because
yes.
You know, her father is Jamaican. He didn't like this whole thing about pushing the Jamaican stereotype about smoking weed and all this and that. He didn't like that too much.
I'm so glad that he stepped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for taking my call, and I'm gonna hurry up and go to the grocery store before they decide to ban kitchen knives like they did in the UK.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Victor, for the call. Definitely appreciate him. And we got a few people on the line. Thank you to Faith Jones for the super chat donations. She says, hold on here, let me just scroll down. People who claim they don't want the government in their business are for Green New Deal and Medicare for all. Interesting. A very good point. When you have the Green New Deal and Medicare for all, the government will most certainly be all up in your business. It ain't going to be too much privacy there. Very good point you make. Faith Jones also says the Democrats are losing a lot of their voter base. Now, Jewish people are starting to form their own anti-democratic movement. That's right, called Jexodus. I saw that. And I saw that Trump tweeted about that. That was very big because you got a lot of these movements going on. Shout out to my man, I can't say his full name, but shout out to my man for the movement Lexit. That's a Latino exit. And shout out to Candace Owens for Blexit, the Black exit. And shout out to the Jews for Jexodus. Who has the Lexit movement? I know y'all know who that is on YouTube. That's my man that calls in. I know his first name, but I forget his YouTube name. But I don't want to say his first name and put him out there. But I do know his YouTube name, but I forgot it right now. But Lexit, that's a really big movement going on. It's a lot of that stuff going on. And Walk Away, that's for everybody. That's more of a big tent. When I was in D.C., I saw the Walk Away people. You know, I had dinner with some of the Walk Away people. Shout out to all of them. Wexit, it'll be Walk Away. That's what that is really, because Walk Away, you know, it's for everybody. It's not black, white, or anything. You know, yes, SOBC, conservative Mexican. That's right. Yes, he has Lexit. Everybody's leaving the Democratic Party, and it's a popular thing to do. There's no movement that's leaving the Republicans. Everybody's walking away doing their own thing. Mexit, Lexit, Latino exit. Anybody that speaks Spanish. Let me get to the next call. 267, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, yes. Am I on?
Hello?
Hello, yes.
You're kind of low. Can you pick up a little bit for me?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better now?
You're kind of. Are you in a quiet place? You're kind of whispering.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. We're just talking very low. So, but go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for having me on. So I wanted to bring up the situation with Omar that
with who?
I guess Omar, the Muslim senator.
Oh, Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan Omar, yeah. So I'm going to speak on her regarding her comment that she made about APAC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm for right. I'm a right-wing nationalist, and what I want to understand is what is it she said that was so anti-Semitic about that comment?
Well, it wasn't even really about. Well, first of all, it was a whole collection of things, because she was talking about, it's all about the Benjamins, you know, referring to Jews being money grubbers and stuff like that. And then she said a bunch of other things before about Jews. And it's just a total context of the situation. If you're going to say that AIPAC, hold on. If you're going to say that AIPAC controls Congress, provide some evidence. Don't just say it, because when you say it like that and you say it's all about the Benjamins, it seems as if you're just trying to come against Jews in general in a stereotypical way. You know, you got to be able to provide evidence to state your claim, rather than just saying that. You're kind of saying it in a pejorative way.
Okay, so I'm gonna this is about the way I feel about that. Okay, so with most of these leftist senators, most of them are not that intelligent to start with. But the thing is, with that particular comment and some of the comments that she had made about the Jews, most of them are actually true. And I feel like they trying to, what's the word? Because I saw a documentary on APEC, and as a matter of fact, what she said is exactly true, that they do buy off Congress. And what I'm worried about is a lot of our government, a lot of the people who represent us don't represent us. Most of them are extreme Zionists, and they pledge allegiance to Israel. And I have been looking into this. Now, I know that I don't agree with all her policies. Most of those Democratic senators, I don't agree with them at all. As a matter of fact, most of them are idiots. However, with her and this particular comment and some of the comments she had made, I found to be true. Now, the way she said it may have not been right. The way she presented it may have been took out of context. So when you do deep research, to be honest, a lot of these leaders who are supposed to support us as Americans don't support us as Americans because the Israel, they are in Israel pockets, and Israel is paying them to support the Zionist movement. And in the far future, I feel as if you really done deep research, we're not going to have a real nation that's for the people. I feel like this is a facade and a way for the Zionists to cover themselves.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, caller, but people are having a hard time hearing you. I don't know if you want speaker or what, but I understand what you're saying about AIPAC and stuff like that. But here's the thing about that. If anybody's going to say that AIPAC controls Congress, they got to be able to provide proof. I understand there's research and documentaries and whatnot, but you got to be able to provide proof that Congress is controlled totally by AIPAC. Like, there's no other groups out there that contribute to people. Like, there's not oil, there's not gas, there's not technology, there's not, big pharma. There's a lot of different ways you can be bought and paid for in Congress. If you just mention AIPAC, you got to ask a question. Why is that? Why just mention them? And then if you're going to say that, provide evidence. Be like, okay, who got what money from who? And then have that be what you base it on, rather than just saying something like that without being able to back it up. Because if you do that, then you're doing what they accuse the right of doing, which is, being a party of the racists and the KKK and stuff like that. They're doing what they say we do.
Well, here's the thing. There is proof. But however, Omar never provided that proof. Anybody can go, and because there's an actual documentary on AIPAC where one of
So, okay, it's a documentary. In a documentary, do they show that these people only get money from AIPAC and that's it? Nobody else?
Well, most of the money actually comes from AIPAC. It's not the only source of money.
That's my point. So if it ain't just AIPAC, then why say they're controlled by AIPAC? You see what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. If you're getting money from, hold on, caller. If you're getting money from like 10 different people, 20 different people, why just mention one? Why not mention the whole thing? Why not just say that they're bought and paid for in general? Why focus on one particular pack?
The only reason why I say so is because majority of the money does come from them, and it's the reason why I'm bringing that up is because they have a strong control over our government and how everything is run. You do realize that on the left side there are leftist socialist Jews who run their campaign, and the Democratic side, but also you have the right-wing Zionists who are running the right-wing conservative side. So it's like they're trying to play us against each other. They have that much power. That's my point.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. A shout out to the caller. The caller, I was having a very hard time hearing. I don't know if I was on speaker or what, but it was very low. I mean, the way I think about that is there are so many different ways you can get bought and paid for in Congress. It makes no sense to just mention one. And then if they're going to say that on the left, then just let them say it. Just let them say it. Ain't no sense in defending the left, because once you defend them, then you kind of like, now you just align with them. That's just how I look at it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. 419, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, what's up? This is Justin out of Ohio.
All right, what's going on?
Nothing much. I just had an interesting question, and I'm kind of newer, so I didn't know how you would feel about it. But I seen there was kind of another black Republican on the show, so I decided to go ahead and shoot my question.
Go for it.
All right, so, I always it's an interesting question, you want to ask to I guess you would say most the African Americans, because they said that, a lot of them claim that they are oppressed. So I just wanted to ask, as an African American male in America, do you feel that you're oppressed?
No, I don't.
That's
it's simple as that. I mean, the whole oppression thing is just bogus. People use that as an excuse as to why they're not doing well in their lives. It's really just that simple. The only oppression that we face is that oppression that we invite into our own homes. We vote for the people that are doing things that are totally against our own best interests. The Democratic Party, I mean, you're talking about abortion, not allowing us to be able to have guns with the gun control stuff. I mean, we vote for it. We have the power to vote for who we want to vote for, live where we want to live, do what we want to do. We vote for our own oppression if there is any. So am I oppressed? No, because I have freedom to do whatever I want. I can get on the plane and fly. I can go to different countries. I can live where I want, do what I want. I have freedom. This is a free country. How can you be oppressed in a free country? Only way you could be oppressed is if you're a child and you're being abused by your parents or something like that, or if you are a person that is allowing your own oppression, asking for it. Aside from that, it ain't no oppression.
Right. I like that answer. That's a really good answer, actually. And then another question, just another quick question I want to ask was, as a black Republican, I was wondering, you probably get a lot of hate from I was wondering, do you get a lot of hate from the black side being a black Republican? How they call you, all the names that they call it.
Yeah. I mean, you get some hate from people, but I really don't even really see it. I don't really pay it too much mind, because at a certain point, it all kind of blends together. When you keep getting caught the same 3 or 4 names, it's like there's only one person saying it, even though it might be more than that. It looks like it's just one person hating. I focus on more of the love I get rather than the hate. So I don't even really care. And I think nowadays you're starting to see more of us coming out and being conservative. We had the Brexit event in Richmond. That was very good. A lot of black folks came out. Yeah. And then before that, we had YBLS. We had 400 black folks in the White House wearing the MAGA hats talking about build the wall. So, I mean, it's more of us coming out. And I feel like the more of us that become more visible online and offline, you're going to start to see more and more. So I'm not even really worried about the hate. I'm worried about the progress we're making.
Right. And there is a lot of great progress coming on. There's more, actually, there's been a rise of black conservative YouTubers too, Mind of Jamal, they're coming up. So thanks for taking my call. I just want to ask you a few questions. I like your show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. See ya.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Yeah, I ain't worried about, the hate I get. It's like the hate you get are from people that are kind of misinformed. Just regular normies that don't really know any better. So I don't even really get upset at all. Because a lot of times it's the same old talking points. What I want somebody to come with a new insult. That's what I like to see. Give me a new insult. Don't call me the same 3 or 4 names. Don't do that. Give me something else. I want an introspective thing. Every now and again, I will see a paragraph or a full essay in my comments. I'm talking my phone from the top to the bottom will be filled with a comment, and then I got to scroll to see more. It's like I got to scroll the phone twice to see the comment. I'm not going to read that. Honestly, if it's more than a paragraph, I'm not even going to read it, because I got so many emails and texts and all that. If you're sending me a wall of text, I'm not going to read it. So I don't even really care. Just tell me you're on the line I'm speaking to.
Hi, it's Peter.
All right, Peter, what's going on?
Yeah, not much. I'm calling from Canada. I like your show. I watch it all the time.
Well, thank you for the call. What's on your mind?
I don't know. You guys are going to probably get a lot of Canadians trying to come into the Canadian border, because our economy has literally stalled at 0.1%, and we have a lot of migrants specifically from the Middle East coming in to Canada, eating our social net. Canadians are running out of money, essentially to keep their households going. They have their wages have been stagnant for the past 20 years. The situation's getting pretty dire.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that it was like that up there. That's pretty unfortunate. Hopefully, you can get some better leadership in there. Do you think it's the great actor? Is it Justin Trudeau's fault?
Well, it doesn't help when Trump comes to make some negotiations and some trade deals, and then Chrystia Freeland starts calling him a racist while he's on the tarmac still, and then he makes a call to Justin to end the deal. That was, we got poor negotiation tactics. We got poor people in our government. We have a government made up of equal men to women ratio because he's a feminist, right?
That's right. You got to have those numbers in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we really have no leverage to negotiate on anymore. We like, for example, the Chinese just cut off our canola exports, and I see on the South China Morning Post that the Chinese are now negotiating new deals with the Americans, obviously because it's a bigger market. So there's an interest there. They that's their main bread and butter. But with the Canadians, there isn't much to do, and now they're cutting off our exports. They're basically our whole economy is based on Chinese purchasing our real estate, and that's slowed down. So we're really in big trouble right now. We're in big bad territory. We have no leverage to negotiate on because what do we have? We've destroyed our manufacturing. The Americans was our biggest trading partner. We've isolated ourselves from you guys. Somewhat cloned Democrats, right? And we've embarrassed ourselves on the internet because our leader likes to have selfies and dress in Indian clothes and make himself look like an idiot, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I've been thinking about myself moving my family. I was thinking about going to Texas, and then I found out there's a lot of Democrats going there, liberals entering that state. So I changed my mind.
Yeah, they are trying to go to Texas, but I think that Texas will still be pretty deep red for quite a while.
So I don't know where to go anymore. I'm running out of place to go. There's Manitoba and Alberta. That's the last vestiges of that place. In my area, there isn't. It's a lopsided, multicultural society. We have one city that's dominated by the Chinese, another city that's dominated by the Indians, and we have an influx of Muslims coming into our country that are. Right now, we actually have our military that's looking out for foreign recruits, which is weird. So non-citizens. And then we have our RCMP, which is kind of the equivalent of the FBI in a sense, that are looking for foreign recruits. Just recently it was in the news that they're looking for mosques that are known to speak against other races, against Jewish people and Kafirs, right? Anyone that's not Muslim. And they're trying to recruit from these mosques, which is really bizarre. I don't know what's going on. I mean, if you think the Democrats are bad, you should come over here.
I can imagine how it is, man. It sounds pretty dire out there, but thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, now.
Take care. Love your show.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller from Canada. Hopefully things get a little bit better out there. Yeah. People are saying, don't leave, fix Canada. Hey, if you can fix it, I'm with it, man. But if not, then you might got to jump ship, man. If the ship is sinking and you cannot fix the gigantic hole in it, if you got a Titanic going underwater, just go ahead and hop off before you just get sunk underwater with it. That might be the best course of action for you to take. And come on down to the States if you need to do that. 724, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Paul from Pittsburgh.
All righty, Paul. What's going on?
What's going on, man? I wanted to get your take on, first of all, it's refreshing to see a black man that is a Trump supporter and not ashamed to show it.
That's right.
Appreciate that. That's right. That's right. But my opinion is, I wanted to get your opinion on how many black Trump supporters that are actually in the closet because you're just afraid to come out.
Oh, it's a lot of us, a whole lot of us. I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, people, I get messages all the time from people that, would wish they could, come out and say who they are, but they can't. I mean, you got family,
right.
You got professional, you got all kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of us that are out there. But see, the thing is, we'll vote. A lot of us will vote because in that particular circumstance, nobody knows what we do. We go in that booth. It's just us. There's nobody in there over our shoulder. And if we get asked, we can lie about it. We can say, yeah, I voted for Hillary or whoever. But meanwhile, we voted for Donald Trump because quiet as it's kept, Donald Trump got more of the black vote than Mitt Romney and John McCain. It was still not as high as it should be, but it was more. And that's the whole point.
No doubt. No, that's the sentiment that I get. Like, I work in a small company. It's like employs like 40 people, and out of the 40 people, like 3/4 of them are black. I'm white, by the way. It doesn't matter either way. But when I talk in groups, they won't admit it. But then when you get on a one-on-one situation, 9 out of the 10 people I talk to support him. And, they just don't want to be shamed in the community. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous that, that the black community's got to be stifled the way they are. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. And I think at a certain point, once more of us start to come out and we're not ashamed to come out, then it'll be like everybody's a Trump supporter, or a lot of us are. It'll be so many of us that we won't be afraid to come out because you're worried about trying to impress people that are around you. But if everybody around you is the same way, or at least the majority are, then what does it be worried about? You fit in with your people. You have a community already. You didn't even know it. And yeah, so right. I like that whole thing. Matter of fact, when I came out as conservative, like 2 of my very good friends also came out, and we was like, okay, we all friends already. So it just didn't make any sense for us to be hiding from each other. It's like we're friends already. We had this in common. Why hide it from each other? Just be who you are. That's the best way to be.
Right. It's amazing how many friends that I've lost just after being a Trump supporter. And what's the crazy thing about it is when he was a so-called celebrity on The Apprentice, I didn't even really care for the guy. But once I started seeing his policy and seeing through his rhetoric, it's just refreshing to see a man have a president today that'll stand up in the podium and tell the people what they need to hear instead of what they want to hear. And I just think that's great. And it's amazing that, he's a billionaire, but he thinks like the common man. Like, I have so much more in common with him than I do my friends. It's ridiculous.
That's right.
He's just a human being. He's just another human being. And I just like, the cojones that he has standing up for America. When you make America first, that don't make you racist. It just doesn't.
Not at all.
That's the narrative they want to feed us. And unfortunately, there's a big part of the country that just still is buying into this crap. But anyway, I just wanted to call in and let you know how refreshing it is. It's nice to see a man stand up for what he believes in. I firmly believe in that. And you're doing good things.
Well, thank you for the call and the kind words. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem, brother. Have a good one.
Same to you.
Bye.
Hey, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, like I was saying, I came out as conservative, and then 2 of my very good friends came on and said, I'm conservative too. And it was just like, it made sense. We all had a lot in common anyway, so it was like, why hide this from each other? But then I also lost a lot of people too. A lot of people that were around, so-called friends, family, they want to go the other direction. So that lets you know who your real friends and your real family are, who's going to be there for you, who's not. Because if you're in a tight situation where, things could go a different kind of way than what they should, are you going to be able to rely on them? Maybe not, but I digress. 602, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Faith Jones. How you doing?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. ABL, I just wanted to weigh in on a couple of things with you tonight, especially when it comes to the socialism issue, if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
And I think I can speak on it because I can give a good example as to what socialism is. Right now in this country, we already have basically two systems. We have a capitalistic system, and we do have a socialistic system for the poor and the elderly. And I just want to use an example about welfare. There are two different types of people that we have in this country. We have people who know the difference between when they're getting superior service that they would have to pay on their own merit. And then you have people that don't mind getting the free stuff, and they don't know that free stuff is inferior. Now, I'll just use myself as an example because I went through an ordeal. My husband was a truck driver. That's how I got into the truck driving industry. And unfortunately, approximately 14 years ago, my husband died of cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Now, when that happened, my husband was the main breadwinner in our home. So he had the health insurance and everything like that. And we had great health insurance, by the way. So this was something that my husband got as a result of him working for it and paying for it on his own. We got to see the best doctors. There were hardly any lines, no waiting, because when you got that good insurance, you can go anywhere you want. Now, when my husband started his battle with cancer, he had to stop working. We lost a lot of things, and that included his health insurance. We tried to hold on to it as long as we possibly could, but COBRA only lasts so long. Once COBRA ran out, we had to go and get the government stuff. And that's when we found out the difference really, really fast.
Yes, big difference.
Big difference. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's better. All of that medication that he was getting, the good stuff that wasn't generic, we had to settle for generic medications once he hit Medicaid status. And this is something that the Democrats don't really explain to people. When you are looking for the government to take care of you, what you're essentially saying is that you trust the government to take care of everything. That you trust the government with your life. That's right. I can't understand why people don't understand the difference. Because here you are, in order for you to get this free stuff, you're going to have to give up something. Now, after my husband passed, I had to fall back on government programs in order for me and my children to survive. And in order for me to qualify for these programs, I had to be at a low point, which I was. So I qualified for housing assistance. I qualified for medical for myself and my children. I qualified for food. Now, during the time that my husband passed away, the Bush administration was ending. The country was going into a depression. I was unemployed for 3 years. I would do odd jobs here and there. And so when I got my CDL, I began to make more money. And let me just take you through the progression really, really quick, because I'm going to tell you how the socialism program works.
Okay.
And how you have to agree to be poor in order to keep the socialistic program. I started making more money right away when I got my CDL, a little bit more money. First thing that the government did was they told me, hey, you're making a little bit more money here. Well, we can't pay for health insurance for you, but we'll keep the children on. So I said, okay, that's fair. I can pay for myself. So I went on and kept on working, did better, did well in life, and kept moving up. I became a trainer at the company that I worked for, made a little bit more money. Then the government stepped in and said, hey, you're making more money. So now we can't cover you and your kids. You're going to have to get health insurance for yourself and your children. Well, I said, okay, fine. I don't want to be, crossed up with these programs anyway. And besides, the medical program, the Medicaid, it was okay, but it was a lot of long lines, a lot of waiting. I didn't mind taking my children off of that system and getting something better. Then as time went on, I kept doing better and better. I became an owner-operator. Then the government came in and said, oh, you can't have this subsidized housing. Either you're going to agree to remain poor in order to keep your Section 8, or you're going to have to make a decision to make the money that you're making and give it up.
Right.
I decided to give it up because there's no way anybody's going to tell me that I can't make a certain amount of money to keep the little bit of crumbs that they're throwing out.
Right.
But the problem is that there are so many people out here that don't mind being poor in order to get something for free.
That's right. They'll settle for a lower standard of life just to get things for free.
Exactly. And so this is the voter base that the Democrats are depending on. The Democrats are really depending on the ignorance of their voter base in order to propel them forward. Yeah. That's the reason why they want to lower the voting age, as Michelle said, to 16. They are literally relying on the ignorance of the population. And I just find that disgusting.
I agree with you 100%. And I feel like they want to keep the people right there in the state because, you know, the school choice is a very good thing to help a lot of kids. You know, I did school choice when I was younger, and I felt like that helped a lot of kids to go to a better school. But for some reason, the Democrats don't want that. They don't want you to be able to select your school or do any kind of voucher program. And you got to ask yourself, why? Like, what's the big deal? Maybe they want to keep people ignorant so they won't even understand what their options are in life. They won't be able to know anything that's going to be able to help them get out of their situation to where they're relying upon the Democrats. If they're not relying upon the Democrats, then they're not needed, which is going to just eliminate them from the whole process.
Exactly. And this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at them, the Democrats, trying to turn this into a socialistic dictatorship. And you only have to look at Venezuela to, you know, see that that doesn't work. Yeah. But if anybody wants to know what these socialistic programs actually look like, look no further than the current government system for poor people. And that's exactly what you're going to have to deal with. I mean, you're going to have to deal with people in your business. They're going to tell you that you can't have a certain amount of money. You're going to have to give up a lot of things. You're going to have to give up good medication, all types of stuff in order to get the free stuff, which isn't all that great.
That's right. 100% correct.
Well, you know, I never want to, you know, come in here and monopolize the whole show, but I just wanted to point that out.
Well, I thank you for the call. That was a great call. A lot of great points made there.
All right. Take care, ABL.
All right. Same to you now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Great call from Faith Jones. Fantastic call. And she's right on point. And they give you the substandard stuff, you know, I mean, from the food, from the housing, from everything, the health care. That's why people talk about, you know, universal health care, free health care, Medicare for all. It's like, is that what you want? You know, I like to be able to go out here, work hard, and then pay for things that I want rather than be given a poor selection by the government. And then they're going to take my money to do it. How does it make any sense? How about I just make money, go out here, and then I pick what I want? That's fair to me, but not to the government because they want you to depend on them for everything. Let's get to my next call.
Which piss rider?
Nippin', what's going on, boss?
Not much. How are you doing?
Everything's good. We got background noise, man. What's going on?
There we go.
Alrighty.
Let me just mute your stream because that's just popped up as well. Sorry, my computer literally just started while I was calling you.
Oh,
it was because of a fault in the camera, so I had to turn it off and turn it back on again.
Oh, it's all good, boss. Don't even worry about it.
So, well, then apparently Ronald Reagan is now a racist.
Apparently so, according to AOC.
Yeah. So, what has she got to say on the matter again?
Well, she was talking about how Ronald Reagan his rhetoric was divisive. You know, this whole thing about the welfare queen. She was trying to say that he was characterizing black women as just sucks on the system, people that didn't do anything were just draining the resources of America. That was her point of view.
And what's the truth?
The truth is he was talking about welfare reform to get people off of the system that are abusing it and are not pushing their lives forward. Because when you're on the welfare system, it's easy to stay right there. Like the previous caller was saying, it's easy to stay right there and become dependent upon substandard things rather than pushing yourself forward. The welfare system, the welfare state is not a good thing, and it should be regulated or outright eliminated.
Yeah, so that's the thing over here as well, that people take way too much advantage of it, and then they expect to get some sort of special treatment.
That's right. Exactly.
And then there's this another thing that people are passing to get Donald Trump impeached.
And what is that?
You said no impeachment, like
okay,
at the
no.
end.
Okay, what's happening is, what's happening with that? Nancy Pelosi said that she does not think that it's worth it to impeach Donald Trump. She came on TV and said that.
Right. She's probably the last person I would have expected to say that.
Well,
actually.
Of course, but see, the thing is, she doesn't have any actual proof that Trump should be impeached. But they don't have anything to impeach Trump on, so now she has to come out and say.
But now the thing with Miss Pelosi is that back before the midterms, she has all the power. She's basically got the power now. She has a lot of power now. She's basically like third in line. No, wait, is it third or fourth in line? I can't remember.
Speaker of the House, I think that's third.
No, wait, it goes.
Second. It's president.
It vice president.
Vice president, speaker, and then.
So yeah, she's second in line.
Second,
to the presidency. So, and she's really dangerous as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I can agree with her on.
Right.
And did you hear the Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes?
Yeah, did you hear about that? The plane crashes?
Yeah. 150 something people died. Now, I don't think that was to do with technical issues. I think these crashes were politically motivated.
You think that they were done on purpose?
Yeah. Like, remember MH371?
Yeah, that was a different kind of plane though, because the plane here was the same plane that crashed in Indonesia in October. That wasn't that wasn't the one you're talking about, right? That was about 3 years ago.
I think more 4 or 5.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But the one talking about right now, this is the same plane that came out in 2017. It's relatively new, and they had problems before. Pilots in the U.S. were saying that the plane was like it was trying to tilt forward when it shouldn't tilt forward. So yeah, these planes have had
that's
issues.
The worst thing that can happen. A plane tilting. There's a reason why they land nose up.
Yeah, so you don't want that to happen.
No. That's the worst thing I can think of when I'm traveling.
Right.
In fact, that's what I fear the most.
Yeah, that's why they put the planes on the ground until they can figure out what's going on with them.
And then apparently now in England, our Prime Minister, a lot of people voted against the no-deal Brexit vote. I mean, if things carry on.
Yeah, just carry on. That's right, because, I mean, this has been going on for years now, hasn't it? The whole Brexit thing.
It's going to be 3 years in June.
That's crazy, because I thought when the whole vote happened that was it. You can just go ahead and exit. But I guess not.
I voted Remain.
Because
back then I didn't know anything better. I used to be one of those crazy social justice warriors.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, so it took me actually to the end of 2017 to realize that to be red-pilled.
Right.
But yeah, if another referendum does occur, I am voting out this time around.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to go. But hopefully it shouldn't be that shouldn't happen. You should just be able to, just leave right now because that was the actual vote that happened, right? To leave.
Yeah. But when we voted leave, I was like, it's going to be done. But
Yeah.
no, they decided to delay it and delay it and delay it.
Right.
It's just gone mental.
Yeah.
And what's this thing about Tucker Carlson's no apology?
Well, it was some old audio that was dug up about him from years ago where he was calling into a shock jock show. And he said some statements that were considered offensive and misogynistic, and people wanted him to apologize. And he declined that. He was like, no, I'm not going to bow to the mob.
And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Why should you bow down to the hierarchy?
That's right.
Well, not the hierarchy, but like to the establishment.
Yeah, it's don't bow down to the mob. Do your own thing.
Yeah. You see, I always used to think that the average conservative was your white southern dude redneck. But I tried, but it was partly with you that I became a conservative because I was like, I typed black conservatives, and then I found you and I started watching your videos.
Well, I'm glad you found me, man. That's great. That
You're
I'm able
partly the reason why I'm no longer a social justice warrior.
Well, hey, it means a lot to me, man. I thank you for, watching me and changing your ways, man. Hopefully I made a, positive impact on you,
Of course.
Being the SJW, that ain't the way to be.
No, I wasn't. I'm much happier now than I was like 3 years ago.
There we go. That's what I love to hear it.
All right, yeah.
So
I don't want to keep you waiting.
Yeah, we pretty much got everything, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap on up, man. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll see you on Sunday.
All righty. I'll see you then.
Peace.
Peace. All righty. Thanks, my man, Nippy, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. We got 195. Hey, I love hearing that. I hear that every now and again. Sometimes when I'm out, when I go to these events, people come up to me and say, hey, you helped change me. That means a lot to me. I'm making a difference in people's lives. Like me, I never thought that I would be able to change people's lives. Like, I never thought that I would be in this position to do so. So, yeah, I really, really appreciate that. We got Justice Smollett in the chat. You going to Subway? All right, man, give me something to eat, man. And don't bring back no bleach or rope because that's not what I want. Let's get to this last call. 561, you're in line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, this is Jay from South Florida. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm sorry I missed the Virginia trip, man. I was going to go, but my mom and my dad and my brothers, they were concerned. Said, Jay, if you go up there, hope nothing happened to you because, people hate Donald Trump, and I'm worried about you. You never know when these crazy people will try to go and do something there. And so I had second thoughts about it. But, next time there's another event, I'm going to go this time. I just had my family who was like, had me sway me from not doing it, but I should have went because, I saw the video you had and I really like what I saw.
Yeah, it was all good. No problems at all. Nothing like that was going on. The thing about it is you got a bunch of black folks coming together. It'll look bad for Antifa to come and try to start something because all you're going to see is a bunch of, suburban white kids trying to beat up on black folks. Not only will it not be successful on their part, they'll also just look really racist. So we didn't have any problems at all. It was all love.
Okay. But, I'm not going to really say much. I'm going to say a couple of things. Two negatives about Candace Owen that I saw on some video. I saw Ben Shapiro. He was in University of Michigan. And one of the conservatives that he has a Q&A at the end. So one of the guys said that he missed the time when we had intellectual conservatives like Thomas Sowell, William F. Buckley, and Milton Friedman, and he also said Ben Shapiro. But he doesn't like these new conservatives. Like, he even put Charlie Kirk out there and Kenneth Owen. He don't like how they are. He don't really consider. He's saying he doesn't really consider them as intellect. So he was kind of, he was dissing Kenneth Owen, but I don't think he was that bad compared to. I don't know if you know this thing called Revolt TV.
Yeah.
You saw the interview where for 10 minutes, those people like Joe Budden, Remy Ma, Jinx, and the other girl,
Scotty Beam. Scotty Beam.
Huh?
Scotty Beam.
You heard what she said about Candace Owens?
I did not.
Well, you should watch it, man. She dissed her, calling her a show monkey because she was interviewing Roseanne, and they had a problem where Scotty Beam called Candace Owens a show monkey, meaning that she allowed Roseanne to say whatever she wanted about black people, and Candace Owens didn't check her or whatever. And like, you call her a show monkey? What? I mean, this girl was so angry with Candace Owens. You should have watched it for 10 minutes.
Nah, she did. I watched the interview with Roseanne. I didn't see anything that was said about black folks in a negative way. I didn't see anything like that at all. Nah, it wasn't nothing like that. See, the thing about it is that Scotty Beam and all them, Remy Ma, they're just liberals. They don't really know anything about politics. They're just regular normies that don't know anything. They're pretty much being led by whatever the popular culture in their industry is. If you want to be a Trump supporter in the rap world, that's like, committing career suicide. So they're not going to do that. And the thing about Candace, a lot of people are just kind of hating on her because she's very successful and popular. Scotty Beam wishes she could be in Candace Owens' shoes, because really what she is just a person that's on radio that's kind of like the sidekick. She has no show of her own. She's on the station kind of like in the background. She's on a show with Joe Budden in the background. It's just kind of hate, and there's no reason for that. She can grow and then have her own show and have that be that. There's no sense in hating on her. And the thing about Candace and Charlie is that they're not going to come out and just hit you with a bunch of, book facts like a Thomas Sowell would do, but they're very smart people. I've talked to them, and they're extremely intelligent. They're calculating what they do, and they're effective. If they were not effective, then they wouldn't even be talked about right now. It wouldn't be a show with Roseanne if she were not effective and intelligent.
Right, but I do put you above her. You're smarter than her, because the way the interview where she had with that Black Lives Matter guy, I think the way she handled it was okay. But if you was there, or someone a little more intelligent, you would have put him in more of his place, because he was like kind of talking over her a little bit. But if you was there, it would be a different story. But I think you're smarter than her. But ABL, the other thing is the school college scandal with the celebrities.
Yeah.
I feel like this is exposed. This is what I would think. This is the same thing I would think about Hollywood. They're not really smart people. A lot of them, they have all this money. They send these kids to their private school, but they all come out dumb. Like, that's like the athlete. They send their children to all your private school, but they're still stupid. It's like, now I'm wondering if they paid someone to get a degree. Like, what's that guy named Swiss Beats? He said, I got a degree at Harvard and whatever. I wonder if he paid somebody to get a degree. So it exposes how stupid they are when they go to private school, because they don't really learn it. They pay for the degree and they lied and cheated. So it just makes me wondering how many of them have done it. And I feel like all of them have done it. No one in Hollywood actually really studied.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the thing about Swiss Beats, he went to this program at Harvard that was designed for guys like him to get a degree. It wasn't like he just went with regular people, just going to class and doing all that kind of stuff. Nah, it was a specific program that he went to that was designed for people like him. So, he could have done that at a community college. It was just a matter of, he's a celebrity and you want to have this big name attached to you. So you go to this particular program, pay a boatload of money to get it. So it's kind of the same thing. You're paying for the degree. It does not really show your intelligence. It's all about just trying to have a brand name attached to you. That's pretty much all that is. So you're right about that.
Yeah, colleges right now, it's used like for credentials, like what Ben Shapiro said, for credentials.
Yeah.
And for for socialization, like the social life. But really, a lot of people go there. You go there specifically either to socialize or you really want to do something with your life. And a lot of kids just go there to socialize and party. And just like that, the actress lady, her daughter, she said that she don't really like school. Her mom just forced her into it. So really, it shows that they're not really going to school to learn.
That's right.
All right, ABL, man. Nice talking to you, man. Like I said, hopefully I get to meet you one day. And I guess I haven't seen the Sunday Rumble. I don't know if you were there last Sunday, but hopefully I see you again on Sunday Rumble.
Hey, I'll be there pretty soon. Absolutely.
All right, ABL, man. Take care, man. Have a good night.
All right. Same to you, man. Thank you for the call.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And that will be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. And if you have not seen the new merch, you got to check it out. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to add my hat. I got my hat on here, too. Matter of fact, let me see if I can add that right quick. Thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. I'm going to add this hat to the store right now, if I can, if it'll let me. Because a hat, I think, is going to be a definite, a great seller on the store. And I'm going to get one probably tonight if I can. Let me see if it's up there. There we go. Boom. Okay. So, matter of fact, yeah, there go the link right there. T-Pain put it in the chat. And thank you to my man SOBC for the donation who says, good night, sir. I appreciate you, man. Really, really appreciate that. And let's go back to the desktop view. Here we go. Here's the store. So you got your Trump Pinch 20 shirt. I sold some of those tonight. So thank you all. Thank you to whoever bought that. I appreciate it. You have just the regular classic tee. Also the women's shirt. This is available in a navy blue, black, and a lighter color blue, kind of like a royal. You got the ABL logo. We boys Burger Kings. MAGA. You have to go back. I digress. CNN sucks. And available in the regular unisex t-shirt and also the women's. MSNPC available in this color and black. I think it's also in maybe like a light blue. Probably just in this color and black. And the tank. And then here's my newest one, the 1776 hat. I click on this right quick so you can see it. This is available in snapback. Let me just see if I can. There we go. It's available in the snapback. You see the snapped back right there. And it's also available in the trucker style. So you can see, here we go, hold on. Let's reload that right quick. So you can see the back where it's vented like that. So that's available in the store right now. The trucker is $23.99. The snapback is $25.99. I'm going to get one tonight. You probably see me with it on in the next few days. I'm going to try to get something to have the Velcro. Like, I'm gonna really do more with this merch. But that's all I got right now. Thank y'all for joining. I really, really appreciate you. And shout out to the moderators. You guys do a great job all the time. Let's check out the, I will order 2 T-Pain. Yes. Shout out to the moderators. We got Pia Reeves, Adina Jones, Omar Adams, Michelle A, Lucha Millo, Killer 99, Dan Larkin, Bipod, Bill from the Hills, Shreebs, Catherine Ray Cave, Cynthia Wett, Liza Jean, Zero Cool, Mark Anthony, Zealand Zen, T-Pain, Friends, and my man Protocol, a.k.a. Isaac. Thank you for what you do all the time. Definitely appreciate you. That'll be a wrap for me. I will see y'all again this Saturday. Same time, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. Same place. I am back officially on this channel. I'll be putting gameplay stuff on the ABL game and also movie reviews. Thank you to everybody that saw the what was that? Not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel movie review. That's done pretty well. It's like 30,000 views or 30,000 views. Very good on that channel. And I'm gonna try to get that channel to about 10,000 subs by the summertime. I'm at 9,000 right now on that channel over there. So thank y'all for subscribing to that and watching that content over there still. That is all I got. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.